Match it up. Pick any two Rally burgers, chili dogs, spicy chicken, or crispy fish sandwiches for $4. Or mix and match 10 different ways. Add a small fry and 20-ounce drink for $3 more. Rally's mix and match deal. Pick any two for $4. Get Rally's delivered through our rewards app.
St. Louis isn't just an arch or a river. It's people working hard to provide for their families. When an accident threatens their future, we fight to get the justice they deserve. Brown and Crouppen, with justice for all.
If you have Medicare or are new to Medicare and live in the St. Louis area, we have exciting news for you. Essence has been awarded a perfect overall plan rating of 5 out of 5 stars in 2022. That's why Medicare is giving you a special opportunity to enroll in a highly rated Essence plan. Find out how you can get more coverage for
precision.
That's the power of a skilled local team who know what they're doing.
The power of accurate estimates.
Estimates, not guesstimates.
The power of certainty.
CertaPro Painters. That's the power of pro. Get your project started at CertaPro.com.
Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated.
We go where you go. 1120 AM, 98.7 FM, KMOX.com.
All right, Trolley. Neighborhood of make-believe.
It's a show on KMOX. Chris Ranji, Kevin Wheeler, Amy on vacation. She'll be back next week. That is Mr. Rogers and his trolley. And I got to lie, I hated that trolley too.
What? Kevin, you must have been the worst child.
I was a little kid.
You hated.
I didn't like this. I'll be honest. As a kid, I did not enjoy the Mr. Rogers thing. As an adult, I recognize his great contributions to children all over the world. I think he was a really great guy. As a child, I hated that show so much. The puppets were creepy.
They were kind of creepy.
I did not like the trolley, and I thought he was boring. I needed more like Scooby-Doo. I needed action.
Dude,
you know?
You are a problem.
But anyway, the real point here is, I don't like trolleys.
You ever been on one?
Yeah.
When? San Francisco?
I can't remember. It might have been in Orlando or something.
I didn't know they had trolleys in Orlando.
I don't know. It was somewhere, but I was fairly young, and I was like, okay.
Well,
we're on a thing that is a old-timey bus, and it's moving down the road real slow, and for some reason, I'm standing, not sitting. Yay.
So we have the loop trolley on Delmar.
Yes.
And we have been fighting this battle. And you said when we were talking about this earlier that you remember the whole ordeal going back like a dozen years. The first word that, and maybe it is 12 years. I don't know exactly, but it does feel like a very long time. Since I've been back in St. Louis, I moved back in 2017. It has been it's a thing. It's been a thing since then. Well, they have gotten their funding, and we know the whole fight that has been happening over the last couple of years. There has been federal funding, a grant approved to spend on the loop trolley.
To keep it running.
Yeah. $1.26 million in federal funding.
Which is not a lot of money, right?
It isn't a ton of money, but it was approved a long time ago.
Right.
And there's a lot of opposition to that money coming in. However, the East-West Gateway Council of Governments voted 15-5 to okay that grant request.
To keep the trolley running.
What is interesting about the 15 votes is that it sounds like a big portion of the 15 don't want it. But they voted for it anyway, and they voted for it for a bigger reason. It is a federal grant, and they're afraid if they don't get that money and approve the money that was given to us to use for that trolley, they won't get funds for other things that they do want. And we heard comments from Sam Page and Tashara Jones, who've all said things like, hey, we don't want this thing, but we got to deal with it. It's something that we've inherited.
Here's the mayor's quote on this. She said, "We should not, in my opinion, piss off the federal government by not taking the action to make sure this project succeeds just because we don't like it. Nobody hates this more than I do. Maybe I do, but I have to fix it." And she went on to explain that, you know, this could end up, if it were to fall through, if you didn't keep this running for whatever reason, could make a bad impression on those that grant federal aid to things like Metrolink expansion. Like that might be in jeopardy if they don't take care of this. So we all agree this thing, I shouldn't say all of us, a lot of people seem to agree that this whole thing is a really ridiculous idea and it's not worth it, but we have to do it because we don't want to make a federal agency that would give us other money angry.
Which is a weird idea in
or
itself.
Not angry, but make them choose not to grant aid in the future, which is really odd to me.
This money is earmarked for transportation, so it's got to
right.
be used for this particular thing because that's what they set out to do years ago. So it has to be spent there. And you made a really good point about this, and I want you to make it again because I think it's probably the thing a lot of people are thinking when it comes to this trolley. And the point is.
Well, there's a few of them.
Well, but yes.
But the biggest thing here to me is why can't we just pay it back? Because this is the whole point, right? The part of the problem here is if you don't keep it up and running, you're going to have to pay back some of the $37 million in federal money that went into it. Okay, we just got a big settlement from the Rams. Let's not keep doing this thing that doesn't make sense, and you can pay it back and then continue to work on something that would matter more, like the Metrolink expansion. And why is there no flexibility in this?
That's it.
Like, why is this like this federal agency is Tony Soprano, and he did you a favor, and there's no getting out of it.
Hey, you don't want my money.
There's no getting out of it.
Hey, don't ever ask me for another favor again.
How do we not have the ability
it's not very good.
in 2022 to say, to sit down and say, listen, the people that came before us that made this deal with you made a mistake. We don't think this is a good idea. We don't think this is a good allocation of resources. So rather than wasting this money on somebody else's idea, let's reconfigure this. Let's change it. Let's sit down and have a meeting. Why is that a complex? Why would that not be? And I'm not blaming anybody here necessarily. Maybe they've asked and the federal government agency's like, nope, you did it. You broke it. You bought it.
Right.
You know, that like why, but why wouldn't there be some negotiating ability in this?
You know, I guess and it's a very good point, but my thinking was I do agree with the mayor on this point.
It runs 2.2 miles, by the way.
Oh, 2.2 miles.
2.2 miles.
It's like a city block. I do get the feeling that you don't want to shun funds that were given to you. Like if it's federal money and it's offered to you, take it. To me, there's no downside to taking it, even if it's spent on something that we think is stupid. And it's not going to benefit a big part of the city. It will benefit that area of the city. And just because it only benefits one neighborhood, and I guess there are people who would argue it doesn't really benefit Delmar, but there are people who do argue it does. And just because it benefits one neighborhood doesn't mean we shouldn't do it. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't have to benefit all of St. Louis.
Sure.
It still should be something we do if it's good for one particular neighborhood, because what's good for one neighborhood is good for the region. And that idea I totally understand, but maybe the people there don't want it really. Maybe the people in the Delmar area don't really want that thing because it has been a nuisance as far as hitting parked cars, and there just isn't a whole lot of room for that to happen. And I haven't been to a lot of other cities that have trolleys. I think Pittsburgh's got one, right?
I think there's a reason for that.
Well, yeah, I think they kind of did away with those. But I don't feel like it would in most areas. The streets weren't built for cars and trolleys. And that street, it's not great for both. Delmar's a good street. There's a lot going on there.
So much fun.
I love the Delmar Loop. I just don't feel like there's enough space for cars and for that thing to be there.
Apparently Don Corleone is running this element of the federal government.
Yes.
Because he keeps saying we don't want to challenge them in this time when they're giving out money. All right.
So I want to know, Kevin, if people taking the trolley, 314-436-7900, and what do you think?
All four of them are listening right now.
He speaks his mind.
If I am being critical of a player about something, if that player walks in the door right now, I will have no problem discussing what happened and why I was being critical.
Brings you insight into the game.
I think most of us can agree that if there's one thing that the Cardinals need, It's high level, top of the rotation starting pitching.
Welcomes big name guests.
We welcome Bob Costas.
He's the new host of the Meyer Jensen Sports Open Line.
My name is Matt Pauley.
Matt Pauley, non-Cardinal game nights at 6 on KMOX.
In this market, you'll find Fisher Investments is different than other money managers.
Different how? Aren't we all just looking for the hottest stocks?
Nope. We use diversified strategies to position our clients' portfolios for their long-term goals.
You don't just provide cookie-cutter portfolios?
No. We tailor our clients' portfolios to their goals and needs.
But you still sell investments that generate high commissions for you, right?
No, we don't sell commission-based products. We're a fiduciary, the highest standard of care for a financial advisor. It means we're obligated to act in our clients' best interest.
So when do you make more money? Only when your clients make more money?
Yep. We have one transparent management fee structured so we do better when our clients do better.
Sounds like you really look out for your clients.
We do, because our priority is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement. That might be why most of our clients come from other money managers. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you switch to us. Fisher Investments. Clearly different money management.
Investments in securities involve the risk of loss.
Right now is the perfect time to call Zero Res to deep clean and refresh your carpets, air ducts, upholstery, and more. Call 314-474-2020 to get 3 rooms Zero Res clean starting just $129 and take $75 off your air duct cleaning. ZeroResSTL.com.
Some people were made to follow the instructions. We were made to make our own. To always measure twice and never cut corners. Unless, of course, we've got a compound miter saw. Northern Tool and Equipment is a problem solver's paradise. There's nothing we can't find, fix, or figure out together. We're made for this. Start solving your projects today at northerntool.com.
At 10:30, sunny skies and 76 degrees downtown at the Arch. I'm Carol Daniel. Ford recalling nearly 200,000 big SUVs because of a fire risk. Jeff Gilbert explains from Detroit.
The recall coming after Ford has had 25 reports of fires in 2015 to 17 Ford Expeditions and Lincoln Navigators. There's been 1 injury, also 3 reports of property damage. The problem traced to the blower motor assembly. It involves about 198,000 vehicles.
Gilbert says Ford has had 52 recalls this year involving 7.4 million vehicles. Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker now officially asking for federal assistance after July flooding hit the St. Louis region. St. Clair County Emergency Management says nearly 800 homes were damaged by the flooding, with East St. Louis the hardest hit. The Soulard Special Business District handing out free steering wheel locks to drivers of Hyundais and Kias, favorites of car thieves because of the ease at bypassing the ignition system. This, according to the Business Journal. St. Louis police say they haven't seen the Korean-built cars stolen that have the steering wheel locks on them. How do Missouri and Illinois stack up when it comes to the number of smokers?
Missouri is near the top of U.S. states with the highest smoking rates, coming in at number 9 at 19.6%. Illinois was 37th at 14.5%. The highest smoking rate was in West Virginia, the lowest in Utah. The research also revealed that Missouri has the 6th highest smoking-related death rate, 178 per 100,000 residents. Illinois, the 22nd highest, at 144 per 100,000 people. Fred Bottomer, KMOX News.
Watch for debris 64 eastbound past Prospect Road. The left lane is closed. They could be cleaning up debris for another 30 minutes. A stall 364 westbound past Bennington Place on the right shoulder, and debris 64 at McKnight has the right lane closed 64 eastbound. The KMOX forecast. Sunny and hot, not that humid. The high 88, patchy clouds tonight, the low of 70. Right now it's sunny and 77 degrees downtown at the Arch. All the news you need for your day is on the free Odyssey app. Download it now. I'm Carol Daniel, KMOX News.
I'm Listening reminds you that you are not alone and that talk saves lives. There's a new national hotline for mental health-related distress, 988. When you call or text 988 from any phone, you will be connected directly with trained counselors in over 200 crisis centers nationwide. They can get you the help you need anytime, anywhere. 988, the new National Suicide Prevention Lifeline. Talk saves lives. And with 988, talking is only 3 digits away. Find out more at imlistening.org.
KMOX News Time, 10:33.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
Driven by the Bomarito Automotive Group, the voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
Trish Gazelle for Ophthalmology Associates. For the best eye doctors, you need to see the doctors at Ophthalmology Associates. Online at youridoc.com or 314-966-5000.
You saw people you haven't seen in a while.
You went places you haven't been in a while.
And you accumulated new and different junk.
You came home and you said,
"Where are we going to put all this?"
Relax. We make junk disappear.
All you have to do is point.
No lifting.
No carrying.
No banging and bumping into walls.
Just a beautiful, wide open space full of happiness and sunlight.
You'll have room to roam.
To breathe again.
You've never felt so free.
Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK.
Or visit 1-800-GOT-JUNK.com.
If you own a business, this has been a bumpy ride. From pandemic to inflation, I'm sure you could use a break. If your business has 5 or more employees and survived COVID, you may be eligible to receive a payroll tax refund of up to $26,000 per employee. The challenge is getting your hands on it. Hi, I'm Howard Mackler, and that's why I founded GetRefunds.com to cut through the red tape and get you the money. The team of tax attorneys we have put together are highly trained in this little-known payroll tax refund program. We do all the work, charge not a dime up front, and simply share a percentage of the cash that we get for you. Businesses of all types can qualify, including those that took PPP, nonprofits, and even those that had increases in sales. We have helped return over $1 billion to businesses, and we can help you too. Just go to getrefunds.com, click on Qualify Me, and answer a few questions. This payroll tax refund is only available for a limited period of time. Don't lose out on up to $26,000 per employee. Go to getrefunds.com. That's getrefunds.com.
Albert Pujols comes to bat. Cardinals slugger Albert Pujols talks with Tom Ackerman Mondays at 9:50.
He hits a fly ball left field, and it's gone!
Exclusively on the voice of the Cardinals, KMOX.
.35 on a Thursday, and at this time every Thursday, we're joined by Chief Washington correspondent for CBS News, Major Garrett. And Major, we've decided that we may not pick a specific song unless you'd like to, but since we know you're a Zeppelin fan, we're going to open with Zeppelin every week for you.
That's great. And Fool in the Rain is always going to be very near the top of that list.
That's good.
A great song from a great album. And if you go on YouTube, you can find drummers who are absolutely mesmerized by the drum riff in Fool in the Rain by John Bonham, the extraordinary John Bonham. So for the drummers out there, go to YouTube, have at it.
Yeah, it's a good time. Actually, there are a lot of great things. There's a few of those that do the same thing with Keith Moon. And some of the guys that have been around more recently too. And I'm fascinated by the creative approach of those guys who very often, if you're not John Bonham or Keith Moon, don't get much mention.
No, you don't. And one of my favorite bands from that era is Steely Dan. Their album Asia, the song Asia, has an unbelievable drum riff by Steve Gadd. Go on YouTube, you can find that too. Recorded in 2 takes because Steely Dan always worked with the best session musicians. And that song and that drum riff, along with Wayne Shorter on sax, go to YouTube. You'll have a wonderful afternoon, I promise.
All right, I got something to do when I get done with work today. Again, Major Garrett with us here, of course, with CBS News, also the host of the Takeout podcast. And I just saw before we had you on that a new episode dropped, Major, with Mark Short talking about a number of things. Give us a little tease of that conversation.
So, yes, we did this a day early because it was so newsworthy. So who's Mark Short? So for those who have seen video of former Vice President Mike Pence, Mark Short is always right behind him, either over his right shoulder or left shoulder. He was his chief of staff. He's his top political lieutenant, and he still is. Now, I opened the show by saying, okay, Mark Short, you're sitting down with me. What's your capacity? Are you here as mini Mike Pence? He said, no, but look, I'm very close to the former vice president, and many of the things I will say will reflect where the former vice president is or may soon be in our political conversation. So we talked about the Mar-a-Lago raid, and he said, look, former President Trump shouldn't have had those documents, but, and this was a huge contextual point he emphasized over and over. He said, look, for me, for lots of Republicans, the FBI's history with former President Trump and the Russia investigation is deeply problematic, and the FBI's decision not to do any of these things when there were classified documents in possession of Hillary Clinton on her email server makes it look like a double standard. And he said, for that reason, I think the Justice Department and the FBI have a much higher standard of transparency and believability to achieve because of this past. And I asked him, I said, will that Hillary Clinton and Russia investigation thing always shadow whatever happens with former President Trump? He said, sadly, I think it will. He said, for a lot of Republicans, they can't get over it and they won't get over it. That's part of the conversation.
Is it, though, is it a fair comparison necessarily? Because she was investigated, right?
Right. And I raised that. I said, look, there was an investigation, but the FBI didn't do any of the things that it's done with former President Trump. It didn't search her premises the way it searched the former president's premises. And I said, well, the court filing just put forward by the Justice Department said and represented, and it sounds like the Justice Department is fully prepared to go to court to prove this, that there was lots of dialogue. There were lots of attempts to work this out without the use of a search warrant, and it didn't work. That representations made by the former president through his attorneys weren't true, and when they went back a second time, they found all sorts of things that were classified, highly classified, intermingled with other papers. So he said, yes, those things are all legitimate, and they have to be explored. But I really do think for Republicans, and this is in the political arena, not the legal arena, the memory of Hillary Clinton, the memory of the Russia investigation, and all the things that led up to it stick in their craw. And this Justice Department has to understand that this is not just a legal matter. It is very much a political matter.
You know, we were talking about this when this investigation originally popped up, Major, and one of the things that I threw out there, it's a corny line from a TV show, but I think it applies. It's that if you come at the king, you best not miss. And I think
The Wire.
You've missed a couple times. Yeah, that's from The Wire, from Omar. But I think it fits in a lot of situations, and this is, I think, one of them. If you're going to go this route, you better have the goods, right?
Right, and let's understand our country's founding. We don't want a king. We've never wanted a king, and he's not the king. He's not the president. He's not any of those things, but he was president. And like every American, he has rights and he has responsibilities. And as a former president, he has very particular legal responsibilities, and they're articulated in federal law. And remember, during his presidency, sort of as a result of his rhetorical flourishes, I'll be diplomatic about Hillary Clinton, former President Trump signed legislation increasing penalties for the mishandling of classified information. He identified this and signed legislation to make this a bigger deal. So I believe it's incumbent upon him and every American to follow the law to the letter. And if he didn't, he has to explain why. And look, I know there are plenty of Trump supporters out there who said, oh, the president took some things, and then some clerk from the National Archives got in his business. He said, oh, I'm not going to deal with some stupid clerk from the National Archives. I get all that. But that doesn't mean it's not a violation of the law. It doesn't mean he's not required to follow the law, especially because he amplified the importance of that underlying law as president. Those things matter.
Major, the photo that was released this week of the documents on the floor, the Department of Justice photo, they were taking inventory of all the stuff that was there. That photo has been pulled in so many different directions. What is your, like, oh yeah, I just leave my stuff on the floor like that. Well, whatever. Anyway,
look, the former president's point is technically true, but legally, and I would even say conversationally, irrelevant. Of course, that's not the way they found it, but they have to illustrate for the court what it was they found to show the coverings that indicate classification levels. It doesn't mean that they've rummaged and strewn things in a misleading way. No, it's a verification way. That's the way every evidentiary picture is made. What did you find? And you are essentially inventorying it. Now, there's a much more formal way of inventorying it by letter and number and all this other stuff, but that's one way to demonstrate what actually was there. That it was on the floor doesn't mean it wasn't there. It actually means it was there. There it is. And that's the key.
Major, I ask this a lot, and I'm not sure that there's a good answer, but I'm going to ask it anyway.
Sure.
How do we get past where we are? Where in this particular case, we're not going to. Nothing that comes out, I don't think, is going to convince anybody that is sure in their mind that nothing was wrong here. And I do think there's an element on the opposite of that, where they're convinced there's always something there, even when it hasn't been proven. Any thoughts about how we start to bridge this gap?
So one of the things that I like to say about this broad question, and it's a very broad question, it sort of goes to the heart of where we are as a country and where we want to go. Because I give some number of speeches around the country, and I meet very ardent people who can't stand and assume the worst about former President Trump, as equally as I meet people who can see no wrong and believe he's the greatest president in their lifetime and will not turn against him no matter what. And I just say one broad thing to both of them. Say, look, we're in an era where we are very public through social media and all sorts of other mechanisms to express our dissatisfaction or satisfaction with somebody involved in American politics. What I asked them to do is try to proportion your satisfaction or dissatisfaction more up against your own level of participation in the American experiment and advancing it and protecting it as it goes forward. Because if all you do is spend your life on the satisfaction, dissatisfaction ledger, you're going to lose sight of continuing and perpetuating the American experiment. Because you'll believe the worst about your political opponents. You'll turn them into enemies. And when we turn Americans into enemies, we turn against ourselves. We do our adversaries the greatest service that could ever be done for them. And we weaponize ourselves to our own detriment. So I emphasize participation in advancing the American experiment. Think about that as much as you think about how satisfied or dissatisfied you are with one particular person in the political arena.
What should we expect with President Biden's speech tonight at 7?
It'll be pretty tough on the Republicans. There's no question about it. Look, he said semi-fascism last week is a fundraising thing, probably a teaser. That's unfair. That's uncalled for. Lots of Democrats have been uncomfortable by that rhetoric. Are there authoritarian strains in the Republican Party? I put that question when I was moderating from Margaret Brennan on Face the Nation last week to Larry Hogan, Republican governor of Maryland. He said, yes, I see it. Wouldn't say it's every Republican. Don't want to tar them all with that brush, but there are aspects of that. The president will be tough and partisan tonight. He's leaning into this. It'll be part of the midterm conversation. And for Republicans who don't think that there are authoritarian strains in their party, you need to stand up for elections that are valid. Don't buy the big lie and disagree with your Democratic opponents on policy and not on strident accusations that you can't back up.
So again, the Takeout Podcast with Mark Short is just out today. You can find that at Takeout Podcast on Twitter. You'll find Major Garrett on Twitter as well, at Major CBS. And real quick, I think I mentioned it last week, but I want to mention it again on that last note. Your book, The Big Truth, is out later this month.
Yes, it is. September 20th. You can pre-order it now from all great internet booksellers.
We love you, Major. Thanks so much for doing this. We'll talk to you next week.
Thank you.
You got it. Major Garrett, CBS Chief Washington Correspondent, mentioned the book, The Big Truth. You can find about that at thebigtruthbook.com. And the Takeout Podcast is at Takeout Podcast. All right, coming up in just a couple of minutes, we tell you what's trending right now here on the show.
I'll tell you what's trending right now, Kevin. I got dry eyes. Oh, gosh. I have dry eyes. I know you have them, too. And
Mine
apparently
are good.
it's because, yes, you know, yours are worse than mine. I get it.
No, but they're good right now.
Oh, good. Because you went to see our friends at Ophthalmology Associates, and so did I. I have more salt in my tears than normal. Probably not as much as you do, Kev, but I've got enough in mine. And there are all kinds of causes to dry eyes. There's that. There can be skin diseases. There can be allergies, pregnancy, chronic exposure to smoke, cleaners, drafts. And a lot of people think they're just tired walking around. Like, why do I feel so tired? Well, the people at Ophthalmology Associates, and when I had my visit with Dr. Malhotra, here's what he told me. Sometimes your dry eyes make you feel other things. So it's a good idea to stay on top of that. And if you need LASIK, if you have glaucoma, or if you have, again, another serious eye problem like cataracts, the people at Ophthalmology Associates and the wonderful doctors there will take care of you. Dr. Malhotra, Dr. Greg Birdie, Robert Brusati, and Andy Royer. Give them a call and set up an appointment, 314-966-5000. That's 314-966-5000, or visit youridoc.com.
Buy today and save tomorrow with Lombardo Homes. Your dream home is within reach. Interest rates are on the rise, but home ownership is still affordable. In fact, Lombardo Homes will buy 2 points off your loan, bringing down your rate by as much as 0.75% when you sign your Lombardo Homes purchase agreement. This means lower monthly mortgage payments and more money for the things that matter. Restrictions apply. Please see sales manager for details. Visit LombardoHomes.com for community details, floor plans, pricing, and home site availability.
I'm in a test plot near Portageville, Missouri that's dedicated to new Pioneer brand A-Series and List E3 soybeans. Row to row, it looks impressive. But what's more impressive is what you can't see with the naked eye. Exclusive and elite Pioneer genetics. And the performance makes it anything but a regular Enlist E3 soybean. From field to lab, Pioneer brand A-Series and List E3 soybeans are like no other.
At Cordell & Cordell, we focus on representing men in domestic relations cases.
Attorney CPA Joe Cordell.
We recognize that our clients are going through perhaps the toughest time they will ever go through. We understand that everything that's important to them is on the table. Their assets, the role in their children's lives. That's an immense responsibility that our clients entrust us with. And we take that very seriously. We've been trained to do that. We've helped thousands of clients before. And it's our hope that you'll choose to entrust us with what's most important to you.
The attorneys at Cordell & Cordell work to help men maximize their role in their children's lives, which includes protecting men's financial means to do so. Contact Cordell & Cordell to schedule an appointment with one of our firm's St. Louis area attorneys, a partner men can count on. 600 Kelwood Parkway, Suite 310, Town and Country, Missouri, 63017. Online at CordellCordell.com. That's CordellCordell.com. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. KMOX Night at the Ballpark returns Wednesday, September 14th, as the Cardinals take on the Brewers.
Got into it. It's a goner.
Celebrate Cardinals history in the making. Fans who purchase a special team ticket will receive an exclusive KMOX t-shirt honoring Yadier Molina and Albert Pujols.
Another Albert Pujols big fly.
Come join us and celebrate at KMOX Night at the Ballpark, September 14th. Tickets on sale now at cardinals.com/KMOX.
Hi, this is Steve Butts at the Crawford Butts Insurance Agency. This year marks our 60th anniversary serving our clients and friends, a tribute to our founder and my dad, Norbert Butts. As your local independent insurance agency, we've been proud to represent many fine carriers such as Safeco, Travelers, and Progressive. So please give us a call for all your insurance needs, 314-752-2500 or crawfordbutts.com.
Ray Magliozzi here for eBay Motors. So you have to drive 300 miles to your cousin's wedding. Okay, so it's his fourth. But you know what they say, fourth time's the charm. Well, here's the problem. Your tires are as bald as I am. But lucky for you, eBay Motors has tires for just about every make and model. Plus wheels, lug nuts, jack stands, and more. 122 million parts. Do they have tissues? Oh, good, because I'm definitely a crier. Get the right parts at the right prices. eBay Motors. Let's ride.
I did a site visit and the space is absolutely incredible.
Estate's Reiki Clinic is opening another studio across town.
But there's a lot to wrap up.
But staffing an entire office requires more than just deep breathing.
And at least 4 new practitioners.
Indeed can help them hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. We instantly connect you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
The legendary RK Gun Shows are this weekend at the St. Charles Convention Center. Bring your family, rain or shine, Saturday 9 to 5, Sunday 9 to 3. We have everything for the lovers of the right to bear arms. RK Gun Shows, proud supporters of the Second Amendment.
If you're trying to sell a home, there's only one agent in town that I trust, Mark and Neil Gelman of eXp Realty. My friends Mark and Neil have the best system, options, and strategies to connect you to the best qualified buyers, getting your home sold fast and for top dollar. Go to thegelmanteam.com.
Would you like a cleaning product that can be used in the garage, the laundry, and the kitchen, and save space in your cabinet? Hi, I'm Bruce Fabrizio, inventor of Simple Green. To learn more, visit us at simplegreen.com.
The show, sponsored by Straight Realty, your St. Louis area experts. Why pay more than 4? 314-441-4444. Amy Marks Course.
This is my show, my microphone.
On the show.
What is it? What's happened?
What's going on? What do you know?
What just happened?
What happened?
I need to know.
Trending now on the show.
Trending is brought to you by Old Town Donuts in Florissant and Colville. Ron, do you want to go first? You want me to go first? What do you got? You're pointing at me, but you're not saying anything. It's radio.
Well, why would I point at you if it's about me? Think about that, Kevin.
Oh, my God.
I'll tell you what's trending right now. Dave.
Dave?
Yeah, Dave is trending.
Producer Dave?
I don't know. No, it's not Dave, our producer. There's a singer named Dave from the UK. There's also some guy named Dave.
His name is just Dave?
I guess. It just says Dave.
It doesn't have a last name?
No, it just says Dave.
Is anybody big enough to just own that name?
Madonna.
But that's not Dave. There are not very many Madonnas.
Albert.
That's only here, though.
Well, I think most people. Well, I guess. That's a good question.
But I mean, you make a good point, though. That's probably the closest. But like, does somebody own Jim? Hey, Jim. It's just Jim.
Does Seinfeld own Jerry?
He might. If you just say Jerry. Well, no, you know what, though? No, I don't think.
Probably not.
Because we mostly referred to him by his last name.
It could be Jerry Springer.
Well, that's a good point. Jerry. That's what, yeah.
It might be him. You don't know.
Either way. I'm sorry, I interrupted you.
Yeah. That's it. That's what's trending in my world. You asked me that's what's trending on Twitter right now. And I think the point here is this.
Dave.
The point here is this. Sometimes there is absolutely nothing good that is trending on Twitter. And that was like the number one thing. For some reason, people think that I care about somebody named Dave.
I mean,
the Twitter algorithm thinks I care about somebody named Dave. I'll tell you what else is trending.
You know
a text message we got.
Oh, yeah?
We got, remember when you said 4 people will text us? Because those are all the trolley riders.
Yeah.
We got 1.
Oh, good.
1 person texted the show at 314-436-7900, said they rode the Loop trolley once with their 10-year-old who loves trains and trolleys.
Yeah.
He may be the only person who is excited for its return. I disagree. I am terribly excited about the trolley sticking around. We had 2,700 riders of the Loop trolley since August 4th. That's nothing to sneeze at, Kevin.
I was about to fake a sneeze, but I thought that was too cheesy.
Yeah,
probably
it is.
Probably a little.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, there's another quick trend that relates to St. Louis. Yachty is trending. It's not. Well, it's funny in a funny way. We're gonna play the audio, I think, a little bit later on, maybe in Redbird report when we talk to Matt Pauley. But Joey Votto did a really cool thing. He voiced the tribute to Albert and Yachty in Cincinnati yesterday. Yesterday was the last game they were going to play for the Reds. And what that did, and this is why Yachty is trending, is that set all the Reds fans off on Twitter. Yachty's terrible. Yachty's overrated. He's the worst. And I've always found that to be funny. Like, they're still not over it. Like, guys, it's not a rivalry anymore. It was a rivalry for about 4 minutes. And then everybody in St. Louis moved on. But Cincinnati is still all about that brawl that Brandon Phillips instigated, where Johnny Cueto ended Jason LaRue's career. But Reds fans are salty? Let it go, fellas. Just let it go. Plus, we'll hear from all of them again when Yachty goes into the Hall of Fame in about 5-6 years.
They're going to love that.
They're going to love that so much.
Men, if you're struggling with erectile dysfunction or PE and frustrated taking pills that don't work, Paramount Men's Medical Center offers breakthrough medical treatments that effectively treat your problem. 98% of patients experience immediate results during their first office visit. And for a limited time, your initial consultation and first treatment are completely free. Listen to a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Brown. The physicians at Paramount Men's Medical Center offer the most advanced treatments that eliminate ED and PE. Now men are lasting 30, 60, 90 minutes or longer, regardless of age or medical history.
Guys, to eliminate your frustration in the bedroom, call Paramount Men's Medical Center now to take advantage of this exclusive limited-time offer. Your initial consultation and first treatment are totally free, and you'll see instant results right in the office. Call now, 314-720-8081. 314-720-8081. That's 314-720-8081.
Join us as we celebrate some of St. Louis's best companies at the 2022 Mayor's Business Luncheon on Wednesday, September 28th from 11 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. at the Marriott St. Louis Grand Hotel located at 800 Washington Boulevard. For more information, visit stlouis-mo.gov/luncheon or call the St. Louis Development Corporation at 314-657-3700. That's stlouis-mo.gov/luncheon or call the St. Louis Development Corporation at 314-657-3700.
CertaPro painters have powers beyond those of ordinary painters.
The power of timeliness.
We show up when we say we will, on time and fully caffeinated.
The power of transformation.
Also known as making your house look so good, your neighbors will be jealous.
The power of certainty.
That's your local CertaPro painters. The power of pro. Get your project started at CertaPro.com.
Each CertaPro painter's business is independently owned and operated.
KMOX, KECK HD2, K254CR, St. Louis.
The legendary voice of St. Louis, KMOX. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
Hi, this is Charlie Brennan. If your home's important to you, check out my friends at Banner Construction. If you're looking for windows, you should know that Banner is a James Hardie Elite Preferred Contractor. James Hardie Fiber Cement Siding has the rich look and feel of wood. And Banner's also a platinum-certified Pella window contractor. Those Pella windows are beautiful, and they come with a 30-year warranty. One of the safest investments you can make today is an exterior renovation to your home. And Banner homes have timeless beauty, striking curb appeal, and ultra-low maintenance. If you take pride in your home, trust it to the team of experts at Banner Construction. My friends at Banner have engineered their projects to go beyond the basic low-cost solutions. That's more than 25 years of experience. And now is the perfect time to plan for this important project and do what the Brennans do. Call on the experts at Banner. They're ready to help. Call 314-569-1050 or online, bannerconstruction.com.
Mid-America's most trusted source for news, KMOX.
At 11 o'clock, it's a sunny sky and 80 degrees downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun. Our top story this hour, former President Donald Trump's legal team and attorneys for the U.S. Justice Department meet in court today. Their dueling court filings lay out their case for and against whether a federal judge should appoint a special master after the FBI searched Mr. Trump's Florida residence. Natalie Brand has more.
A federal judge in Florida will hear arguments this afternoon over former President Trump's lawsuit seeking to have an independent review of the documents seized from his Florida home. In a Wednesday night filing by Trump's legal team, his attorneys argue the DOJ's own review of the documents for attorney-client privilege had deficiencies and called the search unprecedented, unnecessary, and legally unsupported.
With Dr. Faisal Khan leaving his post Friday as St. Louis County Health Director, two others have been appointed to take over as co-directors. County Executive Sam Page says Kate Donaldson and Dr. Jim Heinrichs will share the post until he appoints a permanent director. Donaldson is currently the Deputy Director of the Health Department, and Heinrichs is an infectious diseases specialist. Dr. Khan is leaving for a job in the state of Washington. CBS News correspondent Jim Krasula is covering the Jackson, Mississippi water crisis.
Many in this predominantly African-American city of 180,000 feel the city's water crisis is just the latest insult resulting from years of racism neglect. Tamika Thomas told me she does not agree.
No, it's not racist because everybody's going through it. So I ain't going to say racist.
More than 80% of the residents of this capital city are Black. 25% live in poverty. Jim Krasula, CBS News, Jackson, Mississippi.
KMOX Sports, former Cardinals pitcher Carlos Martinez faces an 85-game suspension from Major League Baseball for violating its domestic violence, sexual assault, and child abuse policy. Under the policy, Martinez will participate in a confidential evaluation and treatment program supervised by the league's Joint Policy Board. The 30-year-old free agent was also suspended for 80 games in May under baseball's minor league drug program after he tested positive for a performance-enhancing substance. The First Mid-Bank and Trust Business Desk, borrowing money to buy a house is getting more expensive.
Mortgage rates are higher now than they've been in 2 months. A 30-year mortgage is now almost 5.7%, says Freddie Mac. A year ago, it was 2.8%. 15-year fixed-rate mortgages, popular among homeowners looking to refinance, jumped to 4.9%. The once red-hot housing sector has cooled considerably, with many potential home buyers getting pushed out of the market as higher interest rates have added hundreds of dollars to monthly mortgage payments. I'm Rita Foley.
The Dow from Stifel's down 130 points to 31,379. And there's debris on 6440 East past Prospect. The left lane closed to stall 364 West past Bennington Place on the right shoulder. Weather sponsored by St. Louis City SC.
KMOX AccuWeather. It's going to feel hot, not that humid, upper 80s to near 90 this afternoon with sunshine more than clouds. And then we're within a few degrees of 90 heading into the holiday weekend. Tomorrow's dry. There could be some thunderstorms, especially later on Sunday and Monday. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Steve DeVore on the Voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
The new MLS club is now hiring stadium employees for the historic inaugural season. To work for St. Louis's professional soccer team, visit bit.ly/apply@city. That's bit.ly/apply@city. Sunny sky, 80 degrees downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
The show, sponsored by Straight Realty, your St. Louis area experts. Why pay more than $4? 314-441-4444.
It is 11:04 on the show. Chris Ranji, Kevin Wheeler with you here. Amy Markscore is on vacation. She'll be back next week. You can find us on Twitter at the show KMOX. You can also find there all the ways to reach us. You can text 314-436-7900. Voicemail line is 314-944-1120. And if you don't remember those or you don't have time to write them down, it's there at the show KMOX. All right, real quick, Ranj, we got a guest coming here in a second, but you heard during the news the mention of Carlos Martinez.
Jeez.
Apparently Bob Nightingale had this an hour ago. I didn't see it either. But it's now a wire story. It's all over the place. Carlos Martinez suspended 85 games by Major League Baseball for violating the domestic violence, sexual assault, and child abuse policy. We'll look into it some more to see if there are any reports about kind of what specifically is alleged in all of this. But he was already a free agent. He was already kind of on his way out. He had signed on with the Giants, and then I think they let him go, and I think he's been out there ever since. But we'll update you on that coming up a little bit later on. All right, much more serious note here. This is something that's getting a bit of coverage. It's certainly getting coverage on the national level, but we wanted to take a look at what this means on a local level, and that is this fentanyl crisis. There are all kinds of new elements to it, including rainbow fentanyl that's apparently being used to attract younger people with the flashy colors, making it look like candy.
Looks like candy, yeah.
Yeah. So we reached out, and we've got Dr. Dustin Smith with us. He is an emergency room doctor with Mercy Health, also works with the Mercy Substance Use Recovery Program. Dr. Smith, thank you for joining us. We appreciate you. Just give us a good starting point here. Where should this conversation start with fentanyl and its impact on the community right now?
Well, good morning. Thank you for inviting me here to speak today. As far as impacts on the community, both locally and across the state, fentanyl and opioids continue to have a heavy toll on both individuals, families, all across the state. So simply having this conversation and bringing it into the open to discuss more openly helps us to start working on solutions.
So we do hear the word fentanyl a lot. We hear about it, even if people haven't really dug into it deeply. What exactly is the danger here? Because this is one of those synthetic drugs that is more powerful than a lot of things that are out there.
You hit the nail on the head there. It all comes down to potency and availability. We look at drugs decades ago. They were more expensive. They were not as readily available, and they were not as potent. And so when you take a drug that has become cheaper, has become more readily available, secondary to mass production, and the potency, which we're seeing, which is much stronger than drugs that we've seen in the past, then that's where you get this horrible crisis that's causing so many people to be stuck in the cycle of addiction and families and communities that have been affected by overdose deaths.
So we know it's a problem nationwide. How big of a problem is it here?
It's probably more of a problem than we are even willing to acknowledge. Opioid addiction is one of those things that is just not, while some parts of our society are willing to acknowledge it and speak openly about it, there's still a significant stigma and shame that's brought on individuals and families who may be dealing with this. And that's where I welcome these opportunities to speak, simply so that individuals and loved ones who are dealing with this can feel comfortable speaking to their family members, their friends, or their medical team about the challenges that they're facing. Because no other aspect of medicine are individuals expected to try to cure their own disease. Diabetics, cancer patients don't go on the internet and try to come up with their own treatments and solutions. They seek out medical professionals, and that's really what we're trying to do. We're trying to allow this topic to be discussed more openly so that we can destigmatize it, take away the shame, and allow individuals to have access to care and to find recovery.
Opioid addiction has been a conversation for a good long while now. And I know fentanyl is not brand new, but it's a newer conversation that is obviously connected. What is the difference, Dr. Smith, between, I guess, when we're trying to figure out where this goes with fentanyl? What's the difference between the quote unquote traditional opioids that have been abused and how that addiction progresses versus something like fentanyl?
It's a great question. It all comes down to severity of disease. So you look at somebody who may have been struggling with heroin or prescription opioids 10 to 15 years ago, and the rapid sort of treatment needs were not as prevalent back then. Patients had time, families had time, but every single day that an individual is using or abusing fentanyl, there's a risk for them to potentially overdose and die. And the thing that we have to remember is that dead individuals don't recover. We have to give individuals an opportunity to seek treatment, and it has to be done rapidly. You can imagine today if you were ill and you called your physician and they said, yeah, we'll be happy to see you in 6 weeks. It would be absurd. You would need medications or support or treatment on that day. And what we see so often, there was just an article released here recently in the St. Louis area speaking to when individuals reach out for resources, they often get no response or they have significant delays in engaging in treatment. And that's really the bar that we're trying to set higher as far as what treatment options are available and how quickly patients can access those when they are ready to receive treatment.
Dr. Dustin Smith is with us, an ER doctor with Mercy and also with the Mercy Substance Use Recovery Program.
The question now is, and probably the main question, at least for right now, is what do we do? First of all, what do we do on a very personal level if we think somebody is exposed, if we think somebody has the ability to acquire fentanyl or is in danger of an overdose? Like what are the immediate things that somebody around that person can do?
Well, if they are immediately experiencing signs of an overdose, I would definitely encourage them to call 911 or contact medical professionals. We have the wonderful law change in the past few years where Narcan is more available for the general public. So if you are living with an individual who's struggling with substance use or has used fentanyl in the past, having Narcan available in your home can potentially be the difference between life and death. We're talking about, minutes when they are experiencing an overdose, and oftentimes our great EMS personnel in St. Louis can get there in time and provide life-saving treatments, but sometimes they just don't get there quick enough. And so if an individual is concerned, I would encourage them to either secure Narcan from a pharmacy, which they can do without a prescription, or they can go online to nomodeaths.org in order to secure free Narcan. Ultimately, we have to allow those individuals to have an opportunity to turn this disease process around. And ultimately, just bringing up the topic. If you have a concern, rather than accusing, rather than threatening, I would encourage loved ones and individuals to reach out from a place of empathy and ask if an individual is suffering. They may not always be receptive to that, and you have to be prepared that the individual may not be excited about that acknowledgement. But some of them are looking for that opportunity to share what they're struggling with. And anyone who's listening who may be struggling with an opioid use disorder themselves, I would encourage them to speak to somebody that they love and care about and to try to seek out treatment. The most important thing about these conversations is acknowledging what's different than what we see in the media on occasion. So many of the patients that I'm taking care of are young moms who are offered pain medications after a C-section, or young men who are offered prescription pain medications after a trauma or surgery, just playing sports, like so many of your listeners here in St. Louis. And so just destigmatizing what somebody who is struggling with opioid use disorder looks like and why the need to access to care is so essential for not only them, but also to our community.
That's great advice. And in tying in with that, it's kind of a two-part question, Dr. Smith, but are there things that, if you know someone is battling an addiction, or let's say, for example, you're a parent of a teenager or even a college-age student that did have the surgical procedure and were prescribed those things, what are the signs that there may be something to be concerned about if that person's not coming to you, if it's not outright obvious, or maybe it would be outright obvious if there's this is a significant problem? And how big of a problem do you think it is that now apparently there's some targeting of younger people with these brightly colored fentanyl pills? They're making it look like, they actually kind of look like in some of the pictures, like the old Flintstones vitamins. They look like little candies. How much of a concern should that be for parents?
So on your first question, the signs that somebody may be struggling, if their behaviors are changing in some way, if you have an individual that was previously happy, healthy, successful, who's now struggling either in their career, struggling in their relationships, struggling in their education, if you make the connection that they were recently prescribed opioids or had been in the past and something seems off, again, coming from a place of accusation is not often received well. But just opening up that conversation from a place of concern may at least get the conversation started. In regards to the rainbow fentanyl or the colored pills, we see often every 3 to 6 months a significant headline will bring this topic into the public conversation, and I'm happy that happens because we still have a long way to go for understanding the general public and access to treatment. The reality is I think education can help to overcome fear. The first thing I think about when I think about these decorated pills and things like that, I think about music or party type scenes, and unfortunately, in the past, again, we had young people or adults who were experimenting with drugs, and they did so in a way that they thought was safe. My concern is if these do make their way into those arenas, that again, the potency for individuals who are otherwise not tolerant to opioids could be fairly devastating. Thankfully, that's relatively rare, but it doesn't mean that it shouldn't be addressed. Now, on the contrary argument, there's a healthy discussion on our Missouri opioid discussion page about whether these headlines are even accurate or if they just contribute to the stigma of those who are suffering with drug use. The reality is a large percentage of the patients that I take care of who are struggling with fentanyl, they are using what are called press pills, which are made to look like pharmaceutical grade pain medications, or capsules of fentanyl. So I have not seen a lot of this. Okay. I should say I haven't seen any personally of the rainbow fentanyl in our area. It doesn't mean that the fentanyl that is in our area isn't still having a significant impact on our community.
What do you think needs to be done from a policy standpoint?
That's a great question. So we see a lot of articles about the amount of funding that's being provided by our government. I'm just not seeing it at the patient level. We still struggle to get patients access to care. When they are attempting to access care, it's often delayed, and that care is often self-limited. So in the past, alcohol treatment was really kind of defined as a 30 or 60-day timeline. When you're working with an individual who's been struggling with opioid use disorder for years, expecting them to get well and to fix any of the consequences of their substance use in a short time period just isn't realistic. So we have to provide increased access to care. We have to provide the best medications and resources possible. And we have to be willing to provide that treatment in an open-ended fashion as we do for any other disease process, whether it be diabetes, hypertension, or cancer. And when we treat this disease in that way, we see great success for a majority of patients. So that's really it. We just have to focus on destigmatizing and increasing access, and hopefully increasing funding for the individuals who would otherwise be turned away due to lack of insurance or lack of funding.
And is you mentioned the website nomodeaths.org. Is that the best place for people to go to kind of find guidance on this? You mentioned you can get Narcan there. Is that the spot you would want us to funnel people to?
I think that's a great starting point. I think having conversations with your local medical system, your local physician, is also a great way to open conversations. I feel that our society has to put a little bit more pressure on my physician colleagues for a long time, addiction treatment was kind of this offshoot of medicine where, in the hospital, we took care of heart attacks and cancer and diabetes. But if you had an issue with alcohol or drugs, well, you have to go off to this other place or you have to go to this other community. And we really have to improve our understanding. We have to improve our understanding of the medications that are available for individuals. And we have to encourage both patients and their families to have those conversations more openly without being stigmatized because of it.
Dr. Smith, we really appreciate the information. Thank you so much.
I can't thank you enough for the opportunity. And again, for any individuals out there who are looking for help, please reach out to your provider or healthcare system for resources that may be beneficial to you or your loved one. Thank you so much.
You got it. You're very welcome, and thank you for the information. It's valuable. I mean, at this point, the only thing we can do is educate people that might be able to spot something or take that first step towards getting someone the treatment that they need. That's Dr. Dustin Smith. He's an ER doctor with Mercy Health and is also the director of Mercy's Substance Use Recovery Program. All right, coming up next, we're going to change gears just a little bit. I should mention, too, again, you can also find resources at nomodeaths.org. And that's, of course, a spot that's kind of a starting point for you. All right, coming up next, we're going to talk a bit about an unclaimed lottery winner or a winning ticket that has not been put forth yet. I can't even imagine losing that ticket.
What?
We'll talk about that coming up in a minute here on the show.
For everything online, it's Odyssey.com. Download the Odyssey app and listen to KMOX for all the news, sports, talk, and podcasts that move you. Odyssey, that's AUDACY.
Men, if you're struggling with erectile dysfunction or PE and frustrated taking pills that don't work, Paramount Men's Medical Center offers breakthrough medical treatments that effectively treat your problem. 98% of patients experience immediate results during their first office visit. And for a limited time, your initial consultation and first treatment are completely free. Listen to a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Brown. The physicians at Paramount Men's Medical Center offer the most advanced treatments that eliminate ED and PE. Now men are lasting 30, 60, 90 minutes or longer, regardless of age or medical history.
Guys, to eliminate your frustration in the bedroom, call Paramount Men's Medical Center now to take advantage of this exclusive limited-time offer. Your initial consultation and first treatment are totally free, and you'll see instant results right in the office. Call now, 314-720-8081. 314-720-8081. That's 314-720-8081.
If you owe the IRS, you have a legal issue, and you need the Lance Drury Law Firm. We'll protect your rights. Log on at LanceDruryLaw.com.
I'm sure that you've felt the shift in the real estate market and have wondered how it will affect you. Is it time to buy or is it time to sell? What are your options? Hi, I'm Christina Straight with Straight Realty. Give us a call and we can discuss a strategy that works for your individual needs in this ever-changing market. Quality and experience at a more affordable rate. Why pay more than $4? 314-441-4444. 314-441-4444.
Straight Realty is a licensed broker in the state of Missouri.
This is Corey from Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling, here to tell you about an organization that is near and dear to our company and one we've been proud to sponsor, Greater St. Louis Honor Flight. Greater St. Louis Honor Flight flies World War II, Korea, and Vietnam War veterans to Washington, D.C. for free to see their memorials. Greater St. Louis Honor Flight is looking for you. If you know of a veteran, please sign them up for their honor flight, or if you'd like to lend your support, visit gslhonorflight.org. And for all things heating and cooling, visit aircomfortservice.com. That's aircomfortservice.com.
Our national debt is now over $30 trillion, an increase of over 20% in just the past 2 years. I'm sure you've been told at some point that taxes will be lower when you retire, but do you truly believe that? Now is the time to begin planning for the future of tax increases. Is your financial advisor helping you with tax planning for a tax-efficient future? If not, this is the time to call me, Ken Heisey, at Heisey Advisory Group, 314-328-4400. If you're like most people, you have a portfolio of investments, but a portfolio is not a plan. How have you planned for the potential legislative risk of increased taxes? Call Heisey Advisory Group now and let us help you create a plan to reduce the tax risk in your retirement. Call 314-328-4400, 314-328-4400.
Firm offers insurance services but does not provide tax advice. Investment advisory services offered only by duly registered individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
Your signature events this summer are all in Fairview Heights. Midwest Wingfest is back again this year on September 2nd and 3rd. This fun-filled two-day event will attract more than 30,000 attendees from far and wide to enjoy chicken wings, music, and great brews while raising money for a good cause. This event is held on the east parking lot of the St. Clair Super Regional Shopping Mall. For more information, visit MidwestWingfest.com. Brought to you in part by the Illinois Office of Tourism and Illinois South Tourism in partnership with the City of Fairview Heights.
Tom Ackerman for Building Community with Busey Bank, a podcast series easily accessible at KMOX.com/community banking. This summer, the Little Bit Foundation lost their huge warehouse and headquarters in the flood. It's both a heartbreaking and inspirational story, with Busey and the community helping. Listen to our September podcast, Building Community with Busey Bank, at KMOX.com/community banking.
The voice of St. Louis. News that matters to you. KMOX.
It's 11:24 on the show. Chris Raji, Kevin Wheeler with you here. Amy is on vacation. She'll be back next week. Ranch, could you imagine having a lottery ticket worth $1.3 billion and not being able to find it? Somebody either doesn't know that they won that or they've lost the ticket because that $1.34 billion still has not been claimed.
There is a guy who has over 7,000 Bitcoins. Okay.
Is that a lot?
That's a lot.
What's that
worth? And at the time it was written, so this was in 2021 when this happened. I'm not exactly sure how much that equates to now. It's still a lot, I think. But it was $220 million US at the time this story came out.
So one Bitcoin right now is just a hair under $20,000.
Okay, so he has 7,000 of those. But at the time,
that's a lot.
It was 220 mil. All right. The way that works is you have to have the password. You have to, and there is no safety net. If you lose the password, you don't get access to it. Nobody can help you. You can't call a bank and say, "Hey, I lost my password. Can we do this reset thing?" Nope. You're out of luck. And if you get to a certain amount of tries and you have guessed wrong, it locks you out forever. He's got one try left, and he has no idea what the password is. I imagine
How do you not put that somewhere?
No, I don't know.
By the way, that right
you know what
now-
it was? He had a thumb drive. It was on a separate thumb drive. He had two thumb drives that looked alike, and one of them he got rid of because he didn't need it, and the one he thought it was the one that had nothing on it, and he got rid of the wrong one.
There has to be a better way.
There has to be a better way than doing that for. It's so bad.
Buy a safe and write it down and put it in the safe.
So if that's what happened with this lottery user, but I mean, it's on a much worse scale because it's 4 or 5 times the money. That would just be absolutely devastating.
Yeah. So I just did the math. It's almost $140 million that the 7,000 Bitcoin are worth.
Okay, so that's
and obviously
that's
this is
considerable.
1.3 billion.
Yeah, so this is a lot more, and then the taxes are going to have to come out.
So let's
I
call it
think you
half a
probably
billion,
get about half.
600 million.
So it's more money. It's a lot more money. If you get a lottery ticket and you know that your chances are very bad of winning.
Yeah,
almost nothing.
You just kind of lose track of the ticket.
How? Just like, wouldn't you hold on to it until the drawing at least? Know where it is.
What
like,
if
hey,
I'm
I'm
putting
putting
it in your pocket and then you accidentally threw it in the laundry.
No, you go when you buy a lottery ticket, you go straight home.
Well, what I do is
buy
I
a
put
lottery ticket, go right to your house, put it in the place.
Oh, I put it in my wallet.
Oh, don't do that because you're going to lose your wallet.
I've never lost my wallet
until you buy the winning lottery ticket.
But I mean, at the very least, though, I know where it is. It's in a place that's not going to get thrown in the laundry, where it's not going to just float out of my pocket when I pull my keys out of my pocket.
If this happened to me, Kevin, I don't know where I'd go, but it would be far away from everybody. And you would never see me again. You'd never see me again.
If you missed out on that, you mean?
Yes.
You're going to be a hermit out in Montana, just chilling.
KMOX Night at the Ballpark is back. Celebrate Cardinals history in the making at KMOX Night on Wednesday, September 14th.
Swing and a long one. Yachty got into it. It's a goner.
Fans who purchase a special themed ticket will receive an exclusive KMOX t-shirt honoring Yadier Molina and Albert Pujols.
A grand slam for Albert Pujols.
The shirt's available only with purchase of a special themed ticket.
A red bird winner.
Get your tickets today at cardinals.com/theme.
Buy today and save tomorrow with Lombardo Homes. Your dream home is within reach. Interest rates are on the rise, but home ownership is still affordable. In fact, Lombardo Homes will buy 2 points off your loan, bringing down your rate by as much as 0.75% when you sign your Lombardo Homes purchase agreement. This means lower monthly mortgage payments and more money for the things that matter. Restrictions apply. Please see sales manager for details. Visit LombardoHomes.com for community details, floor plans, pricing, and home site availability.
The eyes of the chess world are on St. Louis, the chess capital of the United States. St. Louis Chess Club proudly hosts the 2022 Sinkfield Cup from September 1st to the 12th. 10 of the world's best grandmasters, including world champion Magnus Carlsen and St. Louis's own Fabiano Caruana, Lanier Dominguez, and Levon Aronian. Rounds start at 1 p.m. daily. Watch all the action on grandchesstour.org.
In this market, you'll find Fisher Investments is different than other money managers.
Different how? Aren't we all just looking for the hottest stocks?
Nope. We use diversified strategies to position our clients' portfolios for their long-term goals.
You don't just provide cookie-cutter portfolios?
No. We tailor our clients' portfolios to their goals and needs.
But you still sell investments that generate high commissions for you, right?
No, we don't sell commission-based products. We're a fiduciary, the highest standard of care for a financial advisor. It means we're obligated to act in our clients' best interest.
So when do you make more money? Only when your clients make more money?
Yep. We have one transparent management fee structured so we do better when our clients do better.
Sounds like you really look out for your clients.
We do, because our priority is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement. That might be why most of our clients come from other money managers. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you switch to us. Fisher Investments. Clearly different money management.
Investments in securities involve the risk of loss.
11:30, it's a sunny sky and 81 degrees downtown at the Arch. A judge is allowing Eric Greitens' ex-wife to move their child custody case from Missouri to Texas, but the ruling remains sealed. Sheena Greitens had asked the court to change states when the former Missouri governor became a candidate for U.S. Senate. She and her 2 boys live in Austin. Russian leader Vladimir Putin has paid tribute to former Soviet leader Mikhail Gorbachev, but will not attend the weekend funeral, a decision reflecting the Kremlin's ambivalence about Gorbachev's legacy. Democrat Mary Peltola has won the special election for Alaska's only U.S. House seat, besting a field that included Republican Sarah Palin. And right now on the roads, we've got a stalled vehicle. That's 364 West past Bennington Place. That's on the right shoulder. Also have some construction, the 2 left lanes of 64 West at Illinois 159. And the forecast from meteorologist Dean DeVore, not that humid this afternoon with the high of 88 degrees. Some clouds overnight, the low 70. Hot and sticky tomorrow with some sun and a high near 90. It's 81 degrees downtown at the Arch now. All the news you need for your day is on the free Odyssey app. Download it now. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
Sponsored by Midwest Wing Fest. September 2nd and 3rd, come out to Midwest Wing Fest in Fairview Heights, Illinois, an epic food and music festival that benefits even more of an epic cause, combat wounded and fallen soldiers. VIP tickets on sale now at MidwestWingFest.com/events.
Tom Ackerman sees clearly thanks to Doctors Birdie and Mahotra. You can too. Go to yourEyeDoc.com today or call 314-966-5000.
Driven by the Bomarito Automotive Group, the voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
Spark Co-working St. Louis is a new collaborative workspace located within the PwC Pennant Building in Ballpark Village. The Spark Co-working community supports the thriving St. Louis entrepreneurial ecosystem, where you can live, work, and watch the Cardinals play all within one district. The all-inclusive workspace includes furnished month-to-month offices and suites with stadium, city, and arch views, concierge mail service, nitro cold brew coffee on tap, and so much more. Call 314-278-5297 or visit spark-stl.com.
When you want a brand new kitchen, there's nothing to it. There's a brand new way to do it. 3-Day Kitchen and Bath.
Maureen talks about her experience using 3-Day Kitchen and Bath.
I had for years been dreaming how I wanted my kitchen down to every detail. When 3-Day Kitchen and Bath came, they were thrilled to death that I knew exactly what I wanted. They came back with a drawing and it was perfect. It was exactly what I wanted. They came in, they did their thing, and it turned out as perfect as I imagined it. The quality of it is beautiful. It's amazing. It is beautiful. They were efficient. They were trustworthy. The recommendations were unquestionable. And they were going to do exactly what I wanted. I had a lovely experience.
Start your remodel today by visiting 3daykitchen.com.
At 3-Day Kitchen and Bath.
April 9th, 2001.
Swing and a home run to left. The first Major League home run for Albert Pujols.
Now.
It's a goner. Albert Pujols, number 694.
The pursuit for 700 continues.
He is absolutely amazing.
KMOX is Cardinals Radio.
It is 11:34 on the show. Chris Ranji, Kevin Wheeler with you here. Amy Markscore on vacation. She'll rejoin us coming up next week. I am really excited to talk about space, Ranji. I'm like a little kid. I love this stuff, and I know you're like me too. We're both sitting here nerding out and getting ready to talk a bit about Artemis 1, which is now had its launch rescheduled for this weekend, had to be scrubbed earlier this week. So we're going to get into a little bit of all of that and also what the point of all of this is and what it's potentially leading to with Brian Smith. He's the Director of Facilities, Test and Manufacturing at NASA's Glenn Research Center in Cleveland. First of all, good morning. Thank you for joining us, Brian. We really appreciate it. Tell us a little bit about how all of these kind of things work together, right? Because, we were talking about it during the break. We think NASA and we think Florida or we think Houston or whatever, but obviously there are a lot of different places doing this work. How does all of that kind of work together?
Well, as you know, hey, thanks for having me. Many NASA centers. The Artemis program involves all the NASA centers, and each of those centers brings their respective expertise. I'm here at the Glenn Research Center in Cleveland, and we work, for example, with the service module that flies behind the Orion capsule. And we also tested the Orion capsule for the harsh environments of space, also here in Cleveland.
So with all of the work that's being done across the country, again, like Kevin said, I don't think people realize that Cleveland has such a big part of this. So, for example, on launch day, what are your duties on that day? What happens in Cleveland on the day of the launch?
Well, we support the launch actually in Florida. And so our engineers will be there, and our engineers were in particular very focused on the service module, the propulsion system, whereas people from Alabama will be focused on the rocket system, and that's from the Marshall Space Flight Center. And we know the people in Houston will be focused on the crew and the mission, and the people at Kennedy are focused on the launch. So different centers have all their different responsibilities. And I would also add that we have international partners on this. We have 5 nations in Europe who have contributed to the actual building of the service module. So this is really bigger than the U.S. It's an international adventure.
Can you estimate the amount of people who work on this thing?
I would say thousands, and then you have to add a few more of that to our international partners between the actual, again, the building of a brand new rocket that is the most capable rocket on Earth, much bigger than we're flying today. and a capsule that now will take humans to not just sort of an equatorial region of the moon like we did last time, but capable of going, in this particular test flight, 40,000 miles beyond the moon. And that a design that we actually will have 4 people to be able to travel for 21 days without refueling. So it's a much more capable infrastructure that we're putting together.
Brian, so we've all been following the news, the launch being scrubbed earlier in the week, now being rescheduled for the weekend. Once this thing gets going, once we get this program literally off the ground and into space, what are we trying to accomplish? And I mean this in a good way, because I'm so excited about this stuff, and I love the idea of going back to the moon, not just for that sake, but for what it could mean beyond that.
Yes, there's a multiplicity of reasons, right? So you have your scientific reasons. So you would understand the moon better. You would understand what resources are there that we could take advantage of in the future. We could use it for astronomy-based areas. In fact, right now our targeted landing sites are the southern pole. And so with the southern pole, we know that there's actually water trapped in the soil that we can then extract, and then we would have water on the moon. So that's from a resource standpoint, that's important. The technological advantages that came out of Apollo are just undeniable. They're so well documented, and we'd like to do that again, but we do it now in a present tense. So we're driving manufacturing processes and other things that actually advance the United States in an area such as aerospace, and bring along sort of the STEM engagement for the nation. I think there's a leadership. It's nice to be a leader in something positive, and I think the United States is posturing themselves to do that worldwide, and others follow us, and especially with positive adventures like this. There is a lunar economy, just as there's a space economy now at 200 miles and 22,000 miles away. We believe there's an economy that's 220,000 miles away. So there will be a lunar economy, and it does set us up for a precursor to Mars or farther destinations, or going to those. We'd like to go to the moon this time to figure out how to actually stay for longer periods of time and enable others to do that in a commercial way, just like we've done in low Earth orbit or other parts of space.
Would the ideal be to be able to stay on the moon permanently, or at least always have a permanent presence on the moon? It may not be the same people all the time, but at least somebody is always there. Is that, I don't want to call it an end goal, but is that something that NASA is really looking for?
Yeah, that's a good way to state it. We basically want to enable the ability to have that presence. And so what that enables then is others to build on that. So if we are the backbone, just as the Artemis mission series and the large rocket and the Orion capsule become the backbone of that transportation, we then enable a surface presence, and that'll allow others to capitalize on that. So if we lead in the infrastructure, let's say a power infrastructure on the moon, then others can leverage that. And so we want to be able to enable that longer term presence and economies that can come from that, and the proxies that we can gain learning how to live farther away from the Earth so that we can eventually press on to Mars.
Brian Smith is with us, Director of Spaceflight Systems at NASA's Glenn Research Center in Cleveland. Brian, so what are the current challenges of making that happen? I mean, clearly living in space, we've seen some of the, I don't want to say experiments, but certainly some of the things we've learned from people being on the space station have taught us a bit about what they experience, the physical impacts, the psychological impacts. What are kind of the gaps that we need to cross to go even further?
So we first look at the transportation gap, being able to remember the energy to go from just the space station at 200 miles above the Earth to 240,000 miles away. Just that energy management and the larger infrastructure that's required is a challenge. The human system is a challenge. As you get farther out in the deeper space, radiation becomes a larger factor. So we need to protect the human system from the physiological effects of that deep space radiation. And as you pointed out, there's some psychological things that we have to take into account too for larger, durations away from the planet. So that's also one of our concerns and things that we're addressing.
I know this pushback happens pretty much every time, in the course of history, of NASA's history, you will have people who will say, why do we spend all of this money and effort on going to space? What is the point? What does that do for us now? We have our own challenges on Earth. Why don't we tackle those first? When you hear criticism like that, what is your response?
There's always those trades, and those are time tested. There's always the where do you put your investment?
Right.
I think what bears this out is what has actually happened in near space. Again, I point to the low Earth orbit economy or the space economy that we know now, and that's dominated by really the private sector. That's not NASA. The private sector has made it beneficial, and they are launching more rockets, putting up more satellites. It's that economy. And so I use it as an analog for the future. There is a lunar economy, but we have to be the leader in that. So NASA is really doing the next thing forward. And so we're just trying to set that leadership and establish that path that others, and again, I bring international partners along with us, that actually enables us as a humankind, everyone involved, to go farther. So it'll fill in the economies will justify it, just as they did with low Earth orbit.
Totally makes sense, Brian. So I'm gonna dream a little bit. So feel free to rein me in because I get a little carried away.
Here we go.
Seen a lot. I'm an expert when it comes to sci-fi movies, so I've learned a few things. Sorry, I can't even say without laughing. I'm thinking really longer term. Is it realistic to look at the moon as a jumping off point for that deeper space exploration when it comes to manned vehicles? Obviously, we have the ability to put probes and satellites and things further out, but there are a lot of challenges, as you mentioned. But one of them is I think you referenced earlier, the consumption of fuel. Just breaking Earth's gravitational pull takes an immense amount of fuel. Does it make sense that the moon could be kind of a way station that allows you to get there, and then from there, the takeoff, the ability to push further out is a little bit less taxing?
Yes, yeah, you seem to have done your homework on orbital mechanics.
Oh wow! See,
and
he watches The Expanse.
He's right.
So this first mission, Artemis 1, goes into a very high orbit that goes 62 miles from the surface of the moon and then loops out at about 40,000 miles away. These orbits are very special orbits and allow for a very efficient loitering or orbiting of the moon, but they also serve as tremendous launch points to go deeper out into space. And they take advantage of what are called the Lagrangian points, L1, L2, of neutral gravity between the moon and the Earth. And from there, you can actually slingshot yourself or use those orbits to go farther on to deeper destinations. And we plan to do that before we take the next big leap to Mars.
Brian, I think you're the first person I've ever spoken to that's a literal rocket scientist. So what's that like when people you now are qualified to answer anything? You know what I mean? Because I'm not a rocket scientist, but you can pretty much answer any question now, and you can say, well, I am a rocket scientist. So do you do that, or?
No, I appreciate the flattering. I'm just an engineer who works here. I know some rocket scientists.
Oh, okay. But I mean, that's still pretty. That's a lot smarter than any of us in this room. So that's a start.
Well, thank you.
Hey,
You're welcome.
I had a good question.
Oh, mine was not, but so go ahead.
No, I'm teasing you.
No.
Brian, that is great information. We're looking forward to seeing what we all learn from all of this. We appreciate the efforts that you and your staff and everybody does, and really everybody in NASA. I know there are people that ask the questions, the harsh questions that Chris asked about a minute ago, but we're not those people. We're very appreciative of this. We think it's cool. We're looking forward to finding out all of there is to find out about this kind of process, and we'll look forward to seeing it all get going this weekend. Thank you so much for your time. We appreciate it. And the next time we want to talk about this stuff, we'll reach out and touch base with you again.
Thank you very much. And again, I appreciate the interest and the support. Go Artemis.
There we go.
Yeah, nice.
Love it. Brian Smith is with NASA's Glenn Research Center in Cleveland. And as he pointed out at the beginning, they have they have centers all over the place. I mean, Alabama, Florida, Texas, Cleveland, and they all have different specialties, and they all contribute to a project like this. Thousands of people contribute to a project like this, and I love this stuff.
It's just so absurd how many people are involved to get this one thing up into the air and into space. It's unbelievable. And it's awesome.
And it works.
I know.
It's so great. That's why we like smart people. That's why I like smart people, because they figure out stuff like that. All right, hang tight. Just a couple of minutes away. We're going to talk about life expectancy going down. Is it really, though? We'll talk about the numbers next up on the show.
Ray Magliozzi here for eBay Motors. So you have to drive 300 miles to your cousin's wedding. Okay, so it's his fourth. But you know what they say, fourth time's the charm. Well, here's the problem. Your tires are as bald as I am. But lucky for you, eBay Motors has tires for just about every make and model. Plus wheels, lug nuts, jack stands, and more. 122 million parts. Do they have tissues? Oh, good, because I'm definitely a crier. Get the right parts at the right prices. eBay Motors. Let's ride.
I did a site visit, and the space is absolutely incredible.
Este's Reiki Clinic is opening another studio across town.
But there's a lot to wrap up.
But staffing an entire office requires more than just deep breathing.
And at least 4 new practitioners.
Indeed can help them hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. We instantly connect you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Hello, I'm Joe Cordell of the domestic litigation firm Cordell & Cordell. Here are a few quick divorce tips that we provide our clients. Number 1, don't move out of your house just because your wife tells you to. Remember, that's your house too. And number 2, don't blow through the financial statements that you file with the court. These are key exhibits, and they often make or break your case. And number 3, watch the social networking. Expect your wife's lawyer to do a thorough online search. And incidentally, this is a two-way street. Now, a bonus tip. Partner with your attorney in assembling evidence. You're one of the 2 leading experts on your life and marriage. Your attorney needs your input to achieve your goals. And finally, talk to your attorney before taking action. Good luck.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's St. Louis area attorneys. 600 Kelwood Parkway, Suite 310, Town and Country, Missouri, 63017. Online at CordellCordell.com. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
September 2nd through the 4th, it's Midwest Wing Fest in Fairview Heights, Illinois. An epic food and music festival benefiting combat wounded and fallen soldiers. All kinds of food, from delicious wings to barbecue. Plenty of drinks, awesome live music, and a massive kids area. Entry $5 for patrons 12 and over. Upgrade your experience with VIP tickets on sale now. That include unlimited chicken wings from Dandy Inn and beer from Chicks Fritz Distributing. VIP tickets and more at kingdomox.com/events.
Men suffering from erectile dysfunction or PE, regardless of age or past medical history, you'll see instant results on your first visit at Paramount Men's Medical Center. And for a limited time, your initial consultation and first treatment are totally free. Call now, 314-720-8081.
If you own a business, this has been a bumpy ride. From pandemic to inflation, I'm sure you could use a break. If your business has 5 or more employees and survived COVID, you may be eligible to receive a payroll tax refund of up to $26,000 per employee. The challenge is getting your hands on it. Hi, I'm Howard Mackler, and that's why I founded GetRefunds.com to cut through the red tape and get you the money. The team of tax attorneys we have put together are highly trained in this little-known payroll tax refund program. We do all the work, charge not a dime up front, and simply share a percentage of the cash that we get for you. Businesses of all types can qualify, including those that took PPP, nonprofits, and even those that had increases in sales. We have helped return over $1 billion to businesses, and we can help you too. Just go to getrefunds.com, click on Qualify Me, and answer a few questions. This payroll tax refund is only available for a limited period of time. Don't lose out on up to $26,000 per employee. Go to getrefunds.com. That's getrefunds.com.
The Biz Dash is St. Louis's healthiest happy hour. Combining fitness and fun, it's a perfect team bonding activity for any size business. All levels of runners and walkers are welcome. St. Louis City SC's all-new Centene Stadium is the site of this year's Biz Dash, and participants will get a chance to see it up close. With music, food, drinks, and more, the Biz Dash is the ultimate office party. Thursday, September 22nd. 22nd at Centene Stadium in downtown St. Louis. Create your company team today at stlbizdash.com.
Hi, this is Debbie Monterey for my trusted friend and realtor, Gloria Liu, with Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Gloria is the agent I've been recommending for years. If you are planning to sell your home in this crazy seller's market, you do not want to leave a single dollar on the table. You'll love working with Gloria. Gloria Liu will guarantee to sell your home at your agreed-to price and time frame, or she will buy it guaranteed in writing. Her secret? Well, Gloria has the buyers. Thousands of ready buyers looking for homes in your price range and in your neighborhood. Lawrence and Shelby sold their St. Louis home in just 3 days at $17,250 over asking price, with multiple offers when their previous agent produced 0 results. They chose Gloria over other agents, and they were thrilled with the results. You should call Gloria Liu today with any questions. 314-325-6888. 314-325-6888. It's Gloria Liu with Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Find her online at gloriahasthebuyers.com. gloriahasthebuyers.com.
Hi, this is Ken.
And Lori Heisey of Heisey Advisory Group. We're dedicated to helping individuals and families work toward their financial goals.
Join us Sundays at 9:30 a.m. for Your Retirement Highway.
Investment advisory services by individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
Listen right here this weekend to Everyday Wealth with Soledad O'Brien and Gene Chatsky, presented by Edelman Financial Engines. Your hosts and their guests will explore how our financial decisions shape our everyday lives. For airtimes, visit everydaywealth.com.
Carol Daniel for Ophthalmology Associates. For the best eye doctors, you need to see the doctors at Ophthalmology Associates. Online at youridoc.com or 314-966-5000.
The show, sponsored by Straight Realty, your St. Louis area experts. Why pay more than 4? 314-441-4444. Chris Ranji.
Wonderful bones, great eyes, and you dress really interesting.
On the show.
All right, Ron, it's been, as we know, an interesting couple of years since the start of the COVID pandemic.
That's a word to use.
Yeah, interesting. Not in a good way, obviously. And we continue to find out more things as we go about COVID, about how we're going to manage it moving forward, but also about the impact that it's had. So when the numbers came out not that long ago about life expectancy for Americans, dropping by almost 3 years. It's dropped 2.7 years to now the age of 76. It was closer to 79 prior to the pandemic, but now life expectancy in the U.S. is 76 years. That is the worst 2-year decline on record since 1923. And of course, it's because of COVID. It's because of the pandemic.
The COVID actually accounts for 50% of the decline.
Well, 74% of the decline from 2019 to 2020, and then half of it, as you said, from 2020 to 2021. And again, keep in mind how averages work. A person that doesn't have any real adverse effects from COVID or doesn't die from COVID probably doesn't have anything really changing for their life expectancy. But people that are younger than usual are dying from COVID. And by the way, it's not only that. There are other causes that have increased. They termed these other causes unintentional injuries. So that would include like drug overdoses, car accidents, and things along those lines. But I think drug overdoses was the big point that they wanted to make, that there's an increase in that as well. So you know how averages work. It doesn't mean that you, Ranj, are necessarily going to die younger because I do. Again, it's all relative. But because you take into account the numbers and all of the averages being what they are, it's now come down 3 years, which to me is it's much more a symbolic thing of just how big a deal this impact was.
And for the first time because of this, at least going back to the 60s, there probably wasn't a time in recorded history that we could say China, their life expectancy has surpassed ours now. It has gone up steadily over the years, but the United States has stayed above it.
Right.
And also the trajectory has gone up. But over the last couple of years, because they had that zero COVID policy, and we did not. I mean, we did have some restrictions and some lockdowns, but it wasn't uniform across the country. Their life expectancy went up. Doesn't necessarily mean it was the best way to handle everything.
Right.
Those are just the numbers as of right now. What's also interesting is looking at the state breakdown for how old people typically live, Hawaii, you'll be shocked to find out the life expectancy is the highest. Shocked.
Wonder why living in paradise would help.
80.7.
Wow.
80.7. Then it's Washington, Minnesota, California, Massachusetts, New Hampshire, a lot of Northeast. Missouri is at 40th. Missouri is 40th with an age of 75.1. Illinois is at 26.
We'll get back to some of the top stories in the news today coming up next on the show.
If you own a house in St. Louis and you want to sell it as is, without any inspections or the need to make any repairs, call Chris Buys Homes St. Louis at 314-328-8000 or at chrisbuyshomes.louis.com and get your cash offer without any obligations, commissions, banks, or headaches. Chris buys vacant houses, inherited houses, fixer-uppers, beautiful houses, even the tenant won't pay the rent apartment. Google Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis. That's Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis, and check out the best reviews from satisfied customers. When you sell to Chris, you decide when you want to move, according to your schedule and your terms. Go to chrisbuyshomesinstlouis.com. Google Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis or call 314-328-8000. That's 314-328-8000. Call Chris and get the offer you've been waiting for. Chris Buys Homes in St. That's Chris Buys Homes in St. or call 314-328-8000.
Spend your Labor Day at the ballpark on Monday, September 5th. The Cardinals host the Nationals. That day, 25,000 fans, ages 16 and older, will take home one of two exclusive Cardinals patriotic bucket hats. You won't know which one you'll get until you walk through the gates of Busch Stadium. That's Monday, September 5th. The Cardinals, the Nationals, and the mystery patriotic bucket hat. Great seats remain. Get yours today at cardinals.com/promotions.
Yo, it's your favorite artist, Seals. Meet me at the ballpark on Monday, September 5th for African American Heritage Day. With the purchase of a special themed ticket, fans will take home an exclusive Cardinals cap designed by me. Come early for a pregame Heritage celebration in the Budweiser Terrace. Get your tickets today at cardinals.com/theme. Ski!
KMOX, KEZK HD2, K254CR, St. Louis.
The home of the Cardinals, KMOX. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
The Wall Street Journal reported that home equity is at record levels. And while home values continue to soar, rising interest rates make it harder than ever to unlock equity. But what if you could cash out your home's equity right now while it's still sky high and not have to move? You can with Truehold.com. Truehold will buy your home for full cash value. Best of all, you get to bank all the cash now and continue living in your home. And Truehold covers all property taxes, insurance, repairs, and maintenance too. Let's review. Truehold pays your home's full value in cash fast. Use your cash to do everything you've dreamed of, like travel or pay off debt. Call 855-300-9993 or visit Truehold.com for the smarter, faster way to cash out your home's full value without having to move. 1-855-300-9993. 1-855-300-9993 or go to Truehold.com.
Mid-America's most trusted source for news. KMOX.
At 12 noon, it's a sunny sky and 82 degrees downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun, and the news is sponsored by Michael's Flooring Outlet, the flooring experts, michaelsflooringoutlet.com. Our top story this hour, a federal judge could decide today whether to grant former President Trump's request for a special master to review materials seized from his Mar-a-Lago home last month. The hearing is set for this hour. CBS News congressional correspondent Scott McFarland.
Special master could inhibit this investigation in some way. It's far from clear exactly how it would delay the investigation because the Department of Justice hasn't said much beyond their court filings about what they're doing. But in the federal court system, there are always delays, and there are appeals. There are appeals to circuit courts of appeals. The clock could start ticking a little more slowly if a special master is approved.
Starting today, there's a new dashboard from the Department of Transportation to help flyers dealing with delays and cancellations.
The number of flight delays and cancellations has been high over the summer, and Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg has publicly challenged air carriers to do better.
What can be done and how to make sure the airlines are delivering.
The dashboard displays the kinds of guarantees, refunds, or compensation the major domestic airlines offer in case of a flight delay or cancellation. It lets them shop around and find the best deal. Buttigieg has been meeting with airline executives.
Making sure their schedules are realistic given the staffing constraints that are out there. And when inevitable disruptions do happen, making sure they have the customer service to back up their operations.
The rate of cancellations is up about 1/3 from the same period in 2019 before the pandemic. Look for Airline Customer Service Dashboard at transportation.gov. Ed Donahue, Washington.
The Stay Off the Grass sign gets pulled out soon at Centene Stadium.
St. Louis City SC's minor league team will be the first to hit the new fresh grass on the pitch in downtown West. City 2, they've been highly successful. They won 15 games, only lost 4, and have tied a couple. They face Sporting KC 2 on Sunday, September 18th. Only the lower bowl of the over 22,000 seat stadium will be open, and only season ticket members will be able to sit in those seats. It's being considered a test run for employees and fans alike. Outside Centene Stadium, Stuart McMillan, KMOX News.
KMOX Sports, college football returns.
The number one wide receiver recruit in America, Luther Burden, makes his debut for Mizzou tonight at Faurot Field. Play-by-play man Mike Kelly.
Well, people are certainly excited. I would caution them because I think every freshman, even one as talented as Luther, goes through a period where the speed of the game changes and is dominating as he was at East St. Louis. I've watched a number of practices so far this season, and I've seen him adjusting to the speed of those that are defending him.
Louisiana Tech will have that task tonight. It's a 7 o'clock kickoff. Tom Ackerman, KMOX Sports.
The First Mid Bank and Trust Business Desk. Home buying's getting more expensive.
Mortgage rates are on the rise, hitting the highest level since June. According to Freddie Mac, the average for a 30-year loan rose to 5.66%. The surge in mortgage rates this year has led to a sudden slowdown in home sales. Courtney Donahoe, Bloomberg Radio.
The Dow from Stifel's down 160 points to 31,350. And we've got debris on 70 East on the ramp from Jennings Station. Also a stalled vehicle, 70 East at Bermuda on the right shoulder. Weather sponsored by the Penn Mutual Life Insurance Company.
A hot feeling afternoon. It will not be that humid, but temperatures upper 80s to near 90s. Stickier with the high near 90 tomorrow. And then Saturday, Sunday, and Monday within a few degrees of 90 with the humidity up. Thunderstorm chances starting to go up Sunday and especially Labor Day. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Dean DeVore, the voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
Chances are you have a lot of people who depend on you, your family, maybe even employees. Life insurance from Penn Mutual can provide you peace of mind and protect the most important people in your life. Ask your independent advisor or go to pennmutual.com/STL. It's a sunny sky, 82 in Florissant, 83 in St. Peters, and 82 downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
The show, sponsored by Straight Realty, your St. Louis area experts. Why pay more than 4? 314-441-4444.
12:05 on the show. Chris Ranji and Kevin Wheeler with you here. Amy Marks-Core is out. She will be back next week. She is on vacation. You can reach us 314-436-7900. Get some baseball talk coming your way at the bottom of the hour with our buddy Matt Pauley. I need to apologize to Matt.
Why?
Because I made him work later the other day by jinxing things.
He's fine.
Also, jinxes aren't real, but
he's fine. I have no sympathy for Matt Pauley and long baseball games.
Oh, believe me, we've all been there, man.
Zero.
We've all been there. We know the feeling.
Oh.
When you get the late start because of a rain delay or, 13 innings. The 13-inning one, at least there's drama. It's the rain delays that I always hated.
And, of course, we're talking about working a game, like doing our stupid jobs.
Yeah.
So when we all worked baseball. Oh, I had a doubleheader and 2 rain delays, one in each ball game one time. And then there was also like this early show I had to do. I think I was there for like 20 hours. It was stupid.
Definitely been
So
there.
I do not feel bad for Matt Pauley.
But keeping in mind, when we joke about these things, it's not a real serious complaint.
Oh, no, it's super serious.
It's a joke.
And I hope tonight or tomorrow, they're off tonight. I hope tomorrow Matt Pauley doesn't get to leave here until 2 a.m. because the game goes to inning 17.
And what that'll do, by wishing that'll make it go faster.
Yeah.
So good job on the reverse energy.
8:45.
So Cardinals won last night. They take 2 out of 3 from the Reds. They've got the Cubs coming into town starting tomorrow. We'll talk about that with Matt Pauley at 12:30. We talked about the trolley.
Hey, the trolley's back, baby.
Yay. It's funny just listening to all the statements. Like everybody's like, yeah, we all hate this, but we have to do it because we don't want to get in trouble with the federal government that gives out money for things like this or for like Metrolink expansion, and we need that money. So we got to do this to keep the faucet on. Okay. I mean, again, I don't blame anybody for doing it. Just silliness.
All right, trolley. Neighborhood of make-believe.
I love it.
Have you ever ridden it?
The trolley?
Yeah.
Here?
Yeah.
No.
You just say you love it. Why wouldn't you go see it?
I like to look at it from a distance.
You like to see pictures?
Yes.
Well, there are pictures
I
from
think-
olden times you could look at.
I like the idea that we have one. I just wish it was in a better spot and there weren't a bunch of cars and it went more places. Like if it were all over the place, like if it were all over St. Louis, that'd be great.
No, it wouldn't, because it would really screw up traffic.
Yeah. Well, no,
And I am not okay with that.
I feel like in order for there to be a trolley, a real legitimate trolley system like that, the roads have to be built for it. So, like, for example,
Right. So let's build the
San
roads
Francisco,
for a 1920 technology.
New Orleans has it, but like they've got it runs in the middle of a road.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
You know, it's what do you call that? It's not a palisade. It's what's that? It's like the of grass in between two streets.
The median?
No, it's not a median. There's like is it like a promenade?
It doesn't matter.
I don't know.
It doesn't matter. We're doing fantasy talk. We did hit on that earlier.
Thanks for your help, everyone.
Mostly made fun of the whole thing being as weird as it is.
Kevin, total sidebar. Talk about the trolley, and we played the song from Meet Me in St. Louis.
Yeah.
The 1944 movie with Judy Garland. Do you know what song came from that? I know you're going to hate it. I don't care if you hate it.
I don't know.
But I love it because it's one of my favorite things, and I'm about 2 months away from getting to listen to it over and over again. Dave, do you have a guess?
No, I have no idea.
Kevin doesn't have a guess?
Heck no.
Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Came from that movie. I love Christmas music. I cannot wait because once October ends, Dave, we're going full out Christmas tunes around here.
No, we're not.
No.
Well, you're not going to, but I am.
If you try throwing that stuff in there before December 15th, we will fight
December
in the hallways.
15th?
We will fight in the hallway.
Well, you're stupid then, because really, it should be right after Thanksgiving.
No.
But I go,
You got
yes,
2 weeks.
absolutely. Nope, wrong. Absolutely wrong. 100% wrong. It is as soon as Thanksgiving ends. I like to go a little earlier, but that's just my preference.
If it shows up before the 15th, you and I are fighting in the hallways.
Fine, we'll find the hallways because you're completely wrong about this. You are 100% wrong. Christmas tunes start the day after Thanksgiving.
God, I hate that so much.
Let's go.
As the executive producer of this show, I control all the music, and I'm with Kevin.
Well, you are fired as of right now. You're fired. You better start looking for work, Dave, because we're listening to Christmas tunes on when is Thanksgiving? November what?
Nope.
25th?
Nope.
20 something?
People. 314-436-7900. If you're not at a radio station that switches to Christmas music after Thanksgiving, how soon should people start playing the songs?
Right after Thanksgiving.
We got 2 choices. Ranji, right after Thanksgiving, or me, once you get to mid-December, like 2 weeks before Christmas.
Why don't you go ahead and put the Christmas tree up on the 24th while you're at it, Kevin? 24th of December.
Are you
one of those people.
Are you hating on tradition?
That's not a tradition.
It is.
Well,
For-
yeah,
for
like
a lot of
long,
generations it
a
was.
long time ago.
It's not mine. I mean, we put ours up before that.
We have moved past that.
I don't mind the Christmas tree. That's fine. I don't mind the decorations. That's all fine. You want to light the house after Thanksgiving? Wonderful. Love you. The songs cannot start that early without driving me crazy.
You are incorrect. Incorrect.
All
It
right.
starts November 25th this year.
We'll just fight about it when the time comes. Like physical fight.
Yeah.
Should we do a pay-per-view?
No one's going to watch that. But they just
I
know
think they might.
They just know I'm right.
Just depends on the price point.
I'm 100% right. You are 100% wrong. There is no in between. And Dave is fired.
You can't fire Dave or me.
I just did.
You can't.
You're both fired.
Anyway, I don't know why that. I don't know why. How did we get to that?
Meet me in St. Louis, pal.
Right. My bad.
The
my
trolley.
Bad. I forgot that the trolley took us to meet me in St. Louis
That's right.
I forgot the path that we followed to get there. We had Major Garrett on earlier talking a bit about the Mar-a-Lago documents, talking about the president's speech coming up tonight. And we'd done those things earlier.
And we talked to a rocket scientist who said he wasn't.
He's not a rocket scientist, but he is an engineer who helps build rockets and helps, for example, the Artemis 1 program get off the ground and get into space and stay in space.
Yeah.
And I do, we didn't have time to get into it, but you asked him a good question about this. Like people, the pushback is always, why don't we fix problems here versus doing this? I don't think it's an either or, number one. I think you can do both. But as he pointed out, a lot of the big innovations that we've had have come from the efforts to explore space. You have to push the boundaries of what you know about science to make all of that work. And you learn things in that process that wind up being helpful. We wouldn't have Velcro if not for the space program.
Yeah.
Sorry, that was a bad example. But actually,
we wouldn't have Tang either.
Yeah. Do we still have Tang?
I don't know. Can you buy Tang?
I don't know. But the truth is, there are a lot of reasons for that exploration. I think he made an interesting point about just finding out what's on the moon. Is there anything there that we could use? And by the way, also potentially use to move beyond.
Yes.
Which I think is an important thing. It doesn't mean we need to plan on colonizing another planet, but learning about everything we can help us learn about problems and fix problems here potentially.
Part of me wants to do the Passengers thing. The movie Passengers with Chris Pratt and Jennifer Lawrence, where they signed up,
go to sleep for like 20 years.
Yeah,
or
it was
whatever.
I think it was like a couple hundred or something.
Oh, okay.
And they go to, I don't know, some distant place, and they were going to wake them all up. It was like a couple thousand people on this huge ship.
Yeah.
Anyway, that was the intent. I part of me kind of wants to see what that would be like to wake up in a whole new thing. I don't know. That's just me, though. By the way, I'm getting the text line is completely 100% on my side.
No, it's not.
Except for one guy who says I celebrate Festivus, which that's fine too. I want you to celebrate Fest. But Marilyn from the 573 says the day after Thanksgiving. Exclamation point, which means that's when Christmas tunes start.
Oh,
sorry.
That's fine for decorations and stuff.
No. Christmas
And by the
tunes.
way, it's also fine for anybody that wants to listen to whatever they want on their own time. It is too early to force it on the rest of us.
No. Incorrect.
Marilyn also sent us a quick text. We didn't mention this yet. And we figured this is a good time as any. Mizzou opens their season tonight in football.
Oh, yeah, they do.
They're playing Louisiana Tech. It should be an interesting year. It's a tough challenge being in the SEC. We'll see. I think Coach Drink is a fun guy, good personality.
He does. He seems like a real fun guy.
He's recruited pretty well. Luther Burden, the freshman wide receiver, is going to be, I would think, featured prominently this year. He's got a lot of name, image, and license deals going already, and looking forward to seeing how that plays. So Mizzou, and I'm a huge college football fan. We're not going to spend a lot of time on it here on the show, I wouldn't think. Most of our sports time is Cardinals. But I'm looking forward to the season starting, and I look forward to getting a little sneak preview of all of it with Mizzou tonight.
I do hope we get a chance to talk to Coach Drink at some point because, like you said, he's a fun personality, and there's a lot of energy there. Did we mention Carlos Martinez or not?
We did not yet here.
Okay, Carlos Martinez, the former Cardinals pitcher who's been trying to catch on and has had all kinds of problems over the years, has been suspended 85 games for violating MLB's joint domestic violence, sexual assault, and child abuse policy. That was the announcement, and the suspension is retroactive to June 19th. So that's got to be it for him. I don't know what's wrong with that dude, but he is. I don't know if you said it, somebody did. Bit of a knucklehead.
Yeah,
that's. I don't know, man. I have no excuse for that guy, and I was on his side for a very long time.
Sure. As far as people getting on him for the performance and all, or the flair and all that, that was silly.
Stupid.
But you know, he did make a lot of mistakes in terms of injuries. There were times where maybe he didn't rehab the way that he needed to.
Right.
Obviously, you've got this kind of thing, and I don't think we have a specific story right now that goes along with this suspension. I'm sure those details will be filled out at some point. And you're right. I think that might signal the end of his career. All right, one more quick text. This is from the 314, talking about your Christmas Carol fallacy. Says that I think somewhere around December 10th is good for Christmas music. Any earlier, and by the time Christmas rolls around, I don't actually want to listen to it anymore. That's me. It's not. I think the closer it gets, the better you can kind of like just, all right, it's in the background. It's part of the season. We're getting excited. I think it's just a little bit too long. And then we have one that's going really old school. Ranj says that the Christmas music should start the day after Christmas. The reason people didn't put up a Christmas tree 100 years ago is because they used real trees and candles, and they used candles in the trees. So it would dry out and burn your house down if you put it up too soon.
Okay, well, we don't do candles on the trees anymore.
I know.
That's number one. And number two, Christmas music doesn't dry out. It gets better. It gets better with age.
Wait a minute. It starts dried out.
No, that's wrong.
It was never fresh
That's
to begin with.
absolutely wrong. You've never been wronger about anything in your life.
You're the one whose name is spelled wrongy.
Yeah, well, I'm right. I'm righty about this one.
Think about this. We'll pick that conversation up, I'm sure, about 18,000 more times.
I'm not
now
letting it go.
And November. Raj, don't answer now. This is the tease. I want you to think about it. If you'd like to answer us on the text line, I would love you to do this. 314-436-7900. Most embarrassing thing you've done in public.
Oh,
I got a story that will relate to it.
Yeah.
That'll kind of be the jumping off point. The most embarrassing thing you've done in public. 314-436-7900. We'll hit that on the show.
For everything online, it's Odyssey.com. Download the Odyssey app and listen to The Dave Glover Show and all the news, talk, sports, and podcasts that move you. Odyssey, that's AUDACY.
At Miller Furniture, we've taken the guesswork out of mattress shopping by hand-selecting the perfect mattress for every sleep style. Choose from locally handcrafted mattresses like Spring Air and Chatham and Wells. Stop by one of our 3 Miller Furniture sleep centers in Belleville, Lake St. Louis, or Ellisville to find out which mattress fits your sleep style. For the first time ever, we're offering our maximum 25% discount. All you have to do is mention this ad. Miller Furniture, delivering luxury sleep for less since 1927.
Hi there, it's John Hancock for First Mid Bank and Trust. They're a community-focused organization. They put so much money back into the communities where they serve. They've been around for 157 years. If you're looking for a bank, check them out. They got 19 locations here in the greater St. Louis area. Plenty of small business professionals to work with. They got insurance experts. Whether you're saving for your first home, paying off debt, or planning for retirement, First Mid Bank is the place for you. Go check them out online, firstmid.com. You'll be glad you did.
The legendary RK Gun Shows are this weekend at the St. Charles Convention Center. Bring your family, rain or shine. Saturday 9 to 5, Sunday 9 to 3. We have everything for the lovers of the right to bear arms. RK Gun Shows, proud supporters of the Second Amendment.
Hi, this is Steve Butts at the Crawford Butts Insurance Agency. This year marks our 60th anniversary serving our clients and friends, a tribute to our founder and my dad, Norbert Butts. As your local independent insurance agency, we've been proud to represent many fine carriers such as Safeco, Travelers, and Progressive. So please give us a call for all your insurance needs. 314-752-2500 or crawfordbutts.com.
Is your bank, brokerage, or your insurance company telling you to buy an annuity? They may have limited access to the best rates available. You need solutions, not someone pitching you a specific product. Call for your complimentary retirement and income book at 844-513-SAFE. That's 844-513-7233. And also join me, Ben Coons, for the Retirement and Income Radio Show, heard here every Saturday at 3 p.m. on KMOX Radio.
In this market, you'll find Fisher Investments is different than other money managers.
Different how? Aren't we all just looking for the hottest stocks?
Nope. We use diversified strategies to position our clients' portfolios for their long-term goals.
You don't just provide cookie-cutter portfolios?
No, we tailor our clients' portfolios to their goals and needs.
But you still sell investments that generate high commissions for you, right?
No, we don't sell commission-based products. We're a fiduciary, the highest standard of care for a financial advisor. It means we're obligated to act in our client's best interest.
So when do you make more money? only when your clients make more money?
Yep, we have one transparent management fee structured so we do better when our clients do better.
Sounds like you really look out for your clients.
We do, because our priority is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement. That might be why most of our clients come from other money managers. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you switch to us. Fisher Investments. Clearly, different money management.
Investments in securities involve the risk of loss.
Men, if you're struggling with erectile dysfunction or PE and frustrated taking pills that don't work, Paramount Men's Medical Center offers breakthrough medical treatments that effectively treat your problem. 98% of patients experience immediate results during their first office visit. And for a limited time, your initial consultation and first treatment are completely free. Listen to a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Brown. The physicians at Paramount Men's Medical Center offer the most advanced treatments that eliminate ED and PE. Now men are lasting 30, 60, 90 minutes or longer, regardless of age or medical history.
Guys, to eliminate your frustration in the bedroom, call Paramount Men's Medical Center now to take advantage of this exclusive limited-time offer. Your initial consultation and first treatment are totally free, and you'll see instant results right in the office. Call now, 314-720-8081. 314-720-8081. That's 314-720-8081.
Live and local. This is St. Louis's News Radio, KMOX.
All right, Ron. So I found this story. It's really in a number of places, but I saw this story about a woman who got stuck upside down at the gym. But she was alone.
Yeah.
So she was at a public gym. I want to say it was like a powerhouse gym. And there is, an exercise tool where you hang upside down and you can do abdominal exercises. You do all these things. She got stuck hanging upside down and had to call 911. And during the 911 call, thankfully she could reach her phone. First of all, how is nobody else there at a public gym? Like 0 people were there?
Maybe they saw her in distress and like quietly turned around and walked away.
We're going to leave you there.
Yep.
But anyway, she's hanging upside down. She calls 911. Eventually the police come. They help her down. And during the 911 call, she's like, this is so embarrassing.
Yes.
And it would be. It would be. And as I saw that, I'm like, to have to call 911 because you got yourself stuck upside down would be pretty embarrassing. Because you'd clearly, like, if nobody else is around, unless you know you can do that thing, don't do it. Like, if you're like a super fit person, you know that I've done this a million times. All right, that's fine. She was not that. She looked like a relative newcomer to this type of thing. And maybe had done it with a trainer or something, but got her feet stuck in the clips. So she can't get down. She has to call 911. And I've asked for people to chime in, 314-436-7900, about the most embarrassing thing you've done in public. I have a really hard time. I had a hard time coming up with one because I don't feel shame. So when I do something stupid, I just kind of
come on, Kevin.
I kind of laugh at it and like, well, I'm an idiot. And then I don't feel embarrassed. But I had a similar experience to this lady when I was in high school. So when I was a sophomore in high school, I probably weighed about 155 pounds. I was not a very large person. And I was lifting weights. I used to lift at home a lot because I had weights and all that, but I didn't have big weights. I didn't have a bench. I didn't have any of that. So I'm working out at the YMCA and I'm like, I'm going to do the bench press today. I'm going to get after it, right? I'm going to start getting the big muscles. And I did a couple of reps with like 25-pound plates on each side because, big, strong high school kid. I decided I'm going for the big plates. I'm going 45 on each side. And I got that thing off the rack, and it came down on my chest, and that's where it stayed.
Oh, God.
And I was the only person.
You almost died.
I was the only person in that room. I was the only person. Now, there is a way to get out of that. Like, if you know what you're doing.
You roll it back up over your face.
No, you don't go backwards. You go sideways so that it falls. But it's still very dangerous to do that. But I had no idea what to do, and I'm sitting there like I'm gonna die here. I'm gonna be dead with this thing. And it was on my chest, not my neck, so I wasn't like there. And a guy walked in I probably was stuck for 2 minutes like that, which is a long time when you can't move a heavy thing that's on you. And this guy comes in and he's like, oh, here, let me help you with that, trying not to embarrass me. He's like, we'll get that back up there. And then he said, probably shouldn't do that if nobody else is around to help you.
Yeah,
You
dummy.
should have a spotter. And that's probably the most embarrassed I can think of being.
You
in a-
should
in
be
a public
embarrassed by
setting.
that.
Yeah, that was pretty stupid. But then
Um,
again, I was a stupid, like 15, 16-year-old kid.
The most embarrassing thing I've ever done is, probably defending the Fernando Tatis for James Shields trade. I feel very embarrassed by that.
So
I didn't actually. I was like, yeah, maybe it's not that bad of a idea. It's the worst. No. Last night I did something embarrassing.
Really?
I don't have anything like super embarrassing, but last night I was at the store and I picked up some pico de gallo. You know, what pico is.
Yeah.
You know, tomatoes and the
Yeah.
onions and the all that stuff. And I've got the thing, and it was one of those like the store produces it. Right? It's a store produced thing. And like, so somebody at that store worked very hard on this. So I'm holding it. I'm holding a couple of other things because I thought I don't really need a cart. And I go to the egg section and I'm opening the door to get the eggs and I got to bend down and I'm like, oh, please don't drop this. Please don't. And I dropped it and it went everywhere.
Nice.
The whole pico like exploded. And I just instinctively go, damn it, like that, really loud. And there were people around and I looked up like, oh God, everybody's staring at me right now. That was pretty embarrassing. It was
Yeah.
just last night.
We're going to come back to this a little bit later on. We got some good messages on the text line, one that I can't stop laughing at. And I actually have one more from when I was from my time as a server, as a waiter. That was pretty awful.
I got one then too.
We'll get to all of that coming up after the Redbird Report, which is next. Matt Pauley is going to join us when we return.
What do you want out of life? If you need great talk, insight, and a little fun in your life, then you need the Dave Glover Show.
Oh, I just want a simple life. I just want to be happy. Simple. But it seems to me that in 2022, it's just not acceptable in the U.S. to be average. No one wants to be average. We fight average like we would fight the measles.
The Dave Glover Show.
My life.
Weekdays beginning at 2 on KMOX.
You saw people you haven't seen in a while.
You went places you haven't been in a while.
And you accumulated new and different junk.
You came home and you said,
where are we going to put all this?
relax. We make junk disappear.
All you have to do is point.
No lifting.
No carrying.
No banging and bumping into walls.
Just a beautiful wide open space full of happiness and sunlight.
You'll have room to roam.
To breathe again.
You've never felt so free.
Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK.
Or visit 1-800-GOTJUNK.com.
I've loved dancing for as long as I can remember, so my doctor really encouraged me to go back to it. Regular checkups, thorough exams, a whole wellness plan tailored just for me.
At Oak Street Health, we specialize in exceptional care for older adults. Our dedicated care teams provide the personalized care you need to stay healthy and live life more fully.
Age may be just a state of mind, but I mind it a lot less when I feel good.
Get the care you deserve. Visit oakstreethealth.com.
This is Corey with Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling. Shopping around for new HVAC systems is something nobody ever wants on their to-do list. So let's help make things easier with free estimates on new equipment, up to $2,150 on Carrier Cool Cash rebates, and 0% financing for up to 72 months. With over 50 years of award-winning service, you can trust Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling with your new system install. For details and to get in your comfort zone, contact Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling at aircomfortservice.com. That's aircomfortservice.com.
Spark Co-working St. Louis is a new collaborative workspace located within the PwC Pennant Building in Ballpark Village. The Spark Co-working community supports the thriving St. Louis entrepreneurial ecosystem, where you can live, work, and watch the Cardinals play all within one district. The all-inclusive workspace includes furnished month-to-month offices and suites with stadium, city, and arch views, concierge mail service, nitro cold brew coffee on tap, and so much more. Call 314-278-5297 or visit spark-stl.com.
At 12:30, it's a sunny sky, 83 degrees downtown at the Arch. The latest legal moves in the probe of classified documents at Donald Trump's Florida estate are playing out in a Florida courtroom today.
A Trump-nominated judge will hear arguments over whether to bring in an outside expert to review records the FBI seized from Mar-a-Lago last month. Trump's lawyers are pushing for one to allow for personal things like diaries to be returned to the ex-president, plus other documents that may be protected by privilege claims. The Justice Department says a so-called special master is unnecessary because investigators have already reviewed potentially privileged records. If It's unclear if that will sway the judge, who had earlier said she intended to appoint a special master. Sagar Magani, Washington.
A St. Peter's woman is accused of defrauding the federal government's pandemic loan program. Prosecutors say a grand jury Wednesday indicted 36-year-old Trishunda Harrison on 2 counts of bank fraud and 7 counts of wire fraud. Harrison allegedly took more than $200,000 from the Paycheck Protection Program by submitting false claims. She spent the money on shopping, dining, rent, and payments to people not affiliated with the businesses she claimed to represent. And we've got emergency vehicles on 55 North on the ramp from Route Z. A vehicle fire 55 North at Route Z, the right lane closed. And a stall 6440 going west at Boone's Crossing, that's on the right shoulder. Weather is sponsored by Metro Transit. Dean DeVore says not that humid this afternoon with a high of 88 degrees. Some clouds overnight, the low 70. Hot and sticky tomorrow with some sun and a high near 90. Saturday, hot and sticky with sun and some clouds and a high of 91. Enter Metro Transit's Gateway Giveaway, and you could win the chance to throw out the first pitch at an upcoming big league game, plus hotel accommodations, game tickets, a riverboat cruise, and so much more. Visit KMOX.com/contests to enter today. It's sunny and 83 degrees downtown at the Arch now. All the news you need for your day is on the free Odyssey app. Download it now. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
Charlie Brennan sees clearly thanks to Dr. Birdie and Malhotra. You can too. Go to youridoc.com today or call 314-966-5000.
Driven by the Bomarito Automotive Group, the voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
If you've been waiting for the perfect time to get your Missouri medical marijuana card, today is the day at 420id.com. Dispensaries are open and inventory is in. 420id.com is a BBB accredited business with over 16,000 happy Missouri patients. If we can't approve you, you pay nothing at 420id.com. Open late every day until 9 p.m. Sign up for your Missouri medical marijuana card now at 420id.com and use promo code RADIO for $30 off today.
If you're planning to sell your St. Louis area home, now may be the best time to capture the highest sale value before the market changes. This is Debbie Monterey, and according to industry experts, the real estate market has shifted. Gloria Liu with Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty agrees, and she has options to help every type of home seller because she understands that every situation is different. If you need to sell your home quickly, but you're worried about finding your next home, Gloria has your answers and solutions. Gloria has an instant cash offer program that gives you above market cash offers, no showings, no hassles, and you pick the closing date even up to a year, giving you the cash and time needed to find your next home. Call Gloria Liu and ask her about the instant cash offer guarantees or other options that will help you sell fast and for the most money. Call 314-325-6888, 314-325-6888. It's Gloria Liu of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Gloria has the buyers.com.
KMOX is Cardinals Radio.
Tomorrow night, it's the Cards and Cubs. Ameren pregame show 6:20. First pitch 7:15. Hear the game on KMOX and streaming on KMOX.com.
The pitch by Ueno. Albert is hit high and deep. A home run for Harrison Bader. Yadier Molina has homered. Double play. It's a big fly for Albert Pujols. A home run in the first inning for Goldie.
This is the Redbirds Report.
12:34 on the show. Chris Ranji, Kevin Wheeler with you here. Amy on vacation. She'll be back next week. Our buddy Matt Pauley is joining us for the Redbird Report, his normal Thursday spot. Hello, Matt. How you doing today?
I'm doing good. How are you guys?
Good, because, we didn't have to do post-game show on late games the last couple nights. Sorry about that.
That's all right. You jinxed it a couple days ago with our conversation. And then sports producer extraordinaire Matt Pajeski, like as first pitch is happening last night, he goes, you know what? I think this game is going to go about 2.5 hours.
Oh.
And I tried to explain to him at the moment that you cannot say that. And he dismissed me totally. And 5 hours later, we're doing the post-game show.
Yeah, at least it was for a win, though. And it was a fun game with a lot of storylines and a lot of craziness in extra innings.
Yeah, if you're going to lose fast. Like, I don't care how long it takes you to win, but if you're going to lose fast. So they win last night. It was, Oliver Marmol talked about it in the postgame, and I thought it was a great point. That's a really easy game to just be like, okay, let's go home, because it's the 16th game or 17th game in 16 days without an off day. You finally get the off day today back home. There's just a lot going on. You've won a bunch of games. You're in first place. Like, from an emotional, mental standpoint, it's really easy to kind of let your edge down in that one. And they didn't, and they make a couple spectacular plays at the plate in extra innings, which keeps the game going, and they win. So that was a really good win. It showed a lot of character.
So in a game like that, I think you're 100% correct that you will wait for as long as it takes for them to get a victory, because every day off the board is, a day off the calendar is a good thing because they maintain their position in the division. But also, this team has played a lot lately, like a ton. And you kind of want to get those days of rest. I know they didn't want to have to play the, double header the other day with the rain in the area. They didn't want to have to lose the off day today. How rested do you think this team is right now compared to some of the others they're dealing with?
It's not great. They've played a lot. And now there's other teams that have played a lot as well. Like, they're human beings. That's one of my biggest things. Like, fans forget about it. They think there's these robots that are going out there and playing this game for our entertainment. These are human beings, and it's not easy to go play 17 games in 16 days. So they need this off day. There's going to be some more off days here in the final month of the season. That's really important. I think that becomes a really key storyline. There's a lot of talk about what to do with the rotation now that Flaherty's coming back. And I know that a lot of people like to put down Dakota Hudson. To me, like, leave Hudson in the rotation and go 6-man and let everybody have an extra day of rest. Every starter, you get these extra 2 roster spots in September, utilize that and go to a 6-man rotation. Like, everything in my mind right now is what can you do to both maintain your lead in the division, but also find ways to give guys a little bit of rest here in this final month.
I'm curious about that. I mean, generally speaking, I'm not a big fan of 6-man rotations, but I don't mind hybrids. I don't mind kind of like, giving people extra day here and there when they need it. So, I mean, I think there's a way to make that work. It is a little tougher, though, as you point out, Matt. Off day, not next week, but you'll have an off day every week from that point forward. So you'll have the 12th, the 19th, the 26th, the 29th. All of those are going to be off days. So you got a bunch of them in a 2.5 week span. I'm not sure that matters too much. And some of it depends on how far you are behind. But I do think they need more out of Hudson if he's going to start. I mean, just for a guy that's a pitch to contact guy, he can't be walking people like he has.
So one of the things I've been most interested in this entire season has been Marmol's comments after Dakota Hudson starts. I think we've talked about this. For whatever reason, Hudson's the guy that he does not hold back in what he says about it. He is brutally honest. And I actually think what he said this last Hudson start was maybe the most damning thing that Marmol had said all year long about Hudson, because he basically said, yeah, Hudson did everything that we asked him to do, but it still wasn't good enough. Like, that's, as a competitor, you want your leader to say, okay, after you don't perform well, all right, he didn't perform well, but if he does this, 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 and this, it's going to be fine. Well, in his last start, Marmol's like, yeah, he did everything he's supposed to do, and it still didn't work.
Yeah, and look, it's also the trend line. I mean, the basic numbers don't look terrible, right? He's got a 4.43 ERA. In the modern game, that's not ridiculous. I mean, it's a bottom of the rotation starter, but that's essentially what he is, the way the roster is now. But when you look at him month by month, 2.75 ERA in April, 3.60 in May, 4.58 in June, 5.14 in July, 5.76 in August. It's gradually going the wrong way, and the opponent batting average, the slugging numbers, all of those things are going up along with that. And I wonder if I don't want to say injured, but he doesn't look right to me. His delivery seems out of whack. And when he's gonna give free passes as a guy that doesn't strike people out, it's just hard to survive that way.
Yeah, but let's put the positive spin on this. Right now, you can make the argument that he's the biggest issue that this team has. If your biggest issue is your fifth
That's a good point.
Starter, you're fine.
That's a great point.
So what is the biggest problem, if there is one, with this team? Because you're always kind of looking ahead to, all right, right now everything's going great, or most things are going great. Is there something that you're kind of looking at thinking, all right, I'm concerned about this? I think earlier in the week we talked about the bullpen, but do you feel like that sort of thing will iron itself out as we continue to move forward here in September?
Yeah, it's a great question. I still, the inconsistency of the bullpen still does scare me. Now, what's going to happen when Steven Matz returns? Because They expect to have him, and they're going to put him in the bullpen. Sometimes that works. You take a starting pitcher, you put them in the bullpen, and they're really effective. Sometimes it is a complete disaster, and the starters just don't work in the bullpen, the routine and everything that goes along with it, and pitching more often than once every fifth day is something they can't handle. The good thing is there's a handful of pitchers that are going to be used in games that matter between now and the end of the season and into the postseason, and most of those guys have been pretty good. But like we said earlier in the week, still, it seems like every once in a while, and I guess this is true about anybody, but it just, the inconsistencies are just the occasional, okay, this guy just doesn't have it. It happens just a little bit too much with some of these Cardinals relief guys that you would like to see.
I don't think I would quantify Yadier Molina as a problem, Matt. Now, offensively, it's a problem. I mean, offensively, there's not much there at this point, especially since coming back from the basketball trip. And I don't know when it becomes a problem. I know that Kisner's hit a lot better in the second half of the year than he did in the first half of the year. But, you know, we all know this. It's almost cliche at this stage. But his impact isn't really in the batter's box. His impact is in managing a pitching staff.
Yeah, it doesn't bother me. Like, are there going to be moments where he's at the plate in a really big spot and he doesn't come through and you go, oh, man, it'd be nice to have a guy who's hitting, more than 200 right here. Sure, that's going to happen. But we know that he's got a flair for the dramatic. You know that he's got a couple more big hits left in that bat before all is said and done this year. And what he does from a defensive standpoint, from a running game standpoint, from a making pitchers be their best self standpoint, it's all worth it. It's clearly that outweighs anything he's going to do with the bat.
So right now we are paying very close attention to where the Cardinals are in the division. They've got the lead, as we mentioned, pretty comfortable lead in front of Milwaukee, which is a team that's got all kinds of issues. Can you see this Cardinals team with a month left to go, maybe making a little bit of ground in the National League, making up ground between themselves and teams like the Mets?
Yeah, I've been looking at that. I actually talked about that a little bit on the post-game show yesterday, because I think we're at a point where we can kind of say, okay, the division, barring just something ridiculously crazy, it's borderline wrapped up. The Brewers have gone 18 days without making up ground on any given day. Like, they've never even had a day where they've gained a game and then the next day lost it again. They've gone 18 days either staying stagnant or moving backwards. And that's a credit to the Cardinals and what they've been able to do. Can they catch the Mets / Braves? Because the Braves might still catch the Mets. It's not going to be easy. It's going to be tough. And I think at some point you start looking at like resource allocation down the stretch of the season. How much, if you're 4 games back of the Mets with a week and a half to go, are you going to focus more on that? Or are you going to focus more on setting up your pitching and giving guys days and things like that? And I think at that point in time, you do try to set yourself up for the postseason, even if it means you're playing in that wild card round, which, by the way, playing in the wild card round is not the worst thing in the world, because sometimes we see that it's not a 1-game deal anymore. It's 3 games. So if you're not playing in that, that's 4 days off when you've been playing every single day, basically, for the last 6 months. So I actually think there's a little bit of value, maybe, assuming you win the series. I think there's a little bit of value in actually playing in that wild card series.
Going to be interesting to follow. Obviously, the Cardinals, as we stand today, are 7 games behind the Mets. So it's not impossible. It's certainly a manageable number. But the Mets are also, I think, pretty much the healthiest they've been all year. They got DeGrom and Scherzer both in there. And I'll tell you, and this is way, way, way too far down the road. I'm probably going to regret even mentioning it. But I'll tell you what, in the playoffs, I don't know if I would rather face them or the Dodgers. The Dodgers are the better team, but God almighty, Scherzer and DeGrom scare me if you're going up against them 4 times in a series or 3 out of 5 or whatever it is.
Is Tommy Trumpet going to be there?
Oof.
Oh, well, yeah, no, he'll be there for every playoff game.
Yeah, and so will Edwin Diaz, which is a bigger problem.
Yep.
I want to avoid Tommy Trumpet maybe go with the Dodgers.
For people that don't know, the closer of the Mets, Edwin Diaz, has the song. It's played by Tommy Trumpet, and it's very upbeat. It's the crowd in New York loves it. They go crazy for it, but it's his big entry into the game when he's closing things out, and it's a bit of a thing right now.
It's a lot of fun.
The video last night was really. I don't know. I assume you guys saw it. Like where they bring Tommy Trumpet out of the stands and put him on the field, and he's playing the trumpet as Diaz is coming out. I was actually thinking about it, like in sports, when has a band actually been there for like an introduction? And every once in a while that'll happen in like boxing. Everyone, like in pro wrestling, I used to watch a ton of pro wrestling. I remember when DX would come out, sometimes the band that did their song would be there for like big pay-per-views. But I was thinking to myself, how often does the actual artist in any sporting event, how often are they there to perform the walkout music? And it's a pretty rare thing.
Could you imagine that, Ranj, if it was like Mariano Rivera coming out to Enter Sandman and Metallica's like out there in the outfield playing? That'd be so great.
Oh God,
Is this the trumpet?
It is. It's very exciting. You are not going to want to hear this in a month.
No.
In like 5 weeks. You do not want to have to deal with this.
No, you hope the Mets get beat. Or just be in the lead. That way Edwin Diaz doesn't have to pitch against you.
This or Christmas music?
Christmas music. Let's go.
No, give me the trumpet. You got to break the tie now, Matt.
Paulie?
Because I'm going with the trumpet. Ron just going with the Christmas music. You break the tie.
I think right now I'll take the trumpet. I got pretty fired up watching Edwin Diaz come out last night.
Knew I liked you.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, you're going to like it when he starts shoving in the playoffs against you.
Yeah, you're
not going to like that.
Hey, we got to get like Helsley something like that. He's been every bit as dominant this year as Edwin Diaz has.
You're going to wish you were hearing Silent Night, Holy Night instead of that trumpet. Telling you right now.
Matt, we appreciate you, buddy. What do you got? You got anything you want to tease us on?
Oh, no, wait, hold on. No. Forget that. Paulie, you ever done anything embarrassing?
Oh, yeah. In public.
Yes, like daily. I embarrass myself on a moment by moment basis. I think the most recent thing I can remember that is one of those things where you keep your head down. It was right around Thanksgiving. I was at the Minneapolis airport, which is a super busy airport. I'm like, there's not even room to sit down. It's a completely busy gate. I was eating a sandwich and I choked, like I really choked. And so the sandwich isn't going down the throat. So then I go to the water and the water is completely blocked off. And I'm coughing and it's like really loud and stuff starts spewing out of my mouth in the middle of a crowded airport. And people are just looking at me like I'm about to die. And my wife is standing by me. Oh yeah, I could have died in that situation. And my wife is like doing the, "Are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay?" And I'm just trying to like get this entire ordeal over with. But I'm still alive to tell the story.
Thank God.
Oh my God,
that's not embarrassing. That's scary as hell.
I mean, it's embarrassing too.
All right, after the fact, yeah.
Because all those people who saw you went back home and told their people about it. They're like, "You won't believe what I saw in the airport today."
I said we saw Matt Paulie.
Yeah.
Making a
it was
scene.
Loud.
Well,
we're glad you're still here.
Yes, we're glad you're good, man. We appreciate you. What do you got on Sports Open Line tonight? Anything you want us to pass along?
Yeah, we'll talk a lot of Carter baseball, obviously. Carter Chapley from the Post-Dispatch STL today is going to join us for the show. We're
cool.
Sure working on a couple other things. We'll talk some college football as well. I know you guys mentioned Mizzou a little bit ago. So it's that time of the year where there's a lot more stuff starting to pick up. So looking forward to being able to talk about all of it.
All right, buddy. Have a good show tonight. We'll talk to you next week.
All right. Sounds great, guys.
There you go. Matt Paulie with us here on the show. And obviously more baseball coming your way tomorrow. We got a texter, Ron. We didn't have time. Maybe we'll do this next hour. Play a little bit of the Votto tribute to Albert and Yachty. That was pretty cool.
Oh, yeah.
And it was also funny that it set off Reds fans, too. They were very unhappy with the whole thing. All right, stick around. We're going to get back to those embarrassing stories real quick when we come back.
Tom Ackerman for Building Community with Busey Bank, a podcast series easily accessible at KMOX.com/community banking. This summer, the Little Bit Foundation lost their huge warehouse and headquarters in the flood. It's both a heartbreaking and inspirational story with Busey and the community helping. Listen to our September podcast, Building Community with Busey Bank, at KMOX.com/community banking.
Guys, it's a big weekend. It's the holiday weekend. You get 3 days off. All of that's for your effort, your time, getting through the grind and all that, and you want to enjoy it. I know how I'm going to enjoy the weekend. At least a good percentage of it, maybe 80% of it is going to be watching some college football on Saturday in tandem, of course, with keeping track of baseball and the pennant races and all that. But I'm going to be doing that from the comfort of my own home, and I'm going to be doing that with Brew Pub Lots of Matzo Pizza coming out of the freezer, going into the oven, and then going into my mouth. Now, if you go to the grocery store and you check out the pizza aisle, obviously there are a lot of choices. Some of them, when you see them, you see the boxes there, and you've got a picture of what the pizza inside is supposed to look like. And sometimes it doesn't look like that. Well, you don't have to worry about that with Brew Pub Lots of Matzo Pizzas. It's out there. It's clear wrapping. You got a little sticker on there that tells you that it's Brew Pub Lots of Matzo Pizza, and it tells you what kind it is, but you can see it. You can see the half pound of award-winning Wisconsin mozzarella cheese. You can see the toppings of the pizza they're choosing. You can see that it's going to cover the entire pizza. It is fantastic. You need to keep these in your freezer for those days that you're going to hunker down and watch some sports. It's what I do. It's what you can do. So next time you're at the grocery store, check them out. It's Brew Pub, Lots of Matzo Pizza.
CertaPro commercial painters have powers beyond those of ordinary painters.
Power of minimal disruption.
We work with you to ensure a smooth project,
The power of making you look good.
making sure it's done right, on time and within budget, so every property manager looks like a hero. That's CertaPro Painters.
The power of pro.
Get your project started at CertaPro.com.
Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated.
Join Kingdom OX and the St. Louis Press Club at Neiman Marcus for its annual Beauty Buzz fundraising event Saturday, September 17th, starting at 10:30 a.m. at Neiman Marcus Plaza, Frontenac. Spend the morning with all things beauty. Learn from Neiman's top beauty experts about the latest makeup tips, cosmetic demonstrations, skin consultations, and so much more. All the proceeds help fund journalism scholarships, and tickets are on sale now. Head to the events page at kingdomox.com now. If you owe the IRS, you have a legal issue, and you need the Lance Drury Law Firm. We'll protect your rights. Log on at lancedrurylaw.com.
The Wall Street Journal reported that home equity is at record levels. And while home values continue to soar, rising interest rates make it harder than ever to unlock equity. But what if you could cash out your home's equity right now while it's still sky high and not have to move? You can with Truehold.com. Truehold will buy your home for full cash value. Best of all, you get to bank all the cash now and continue living in your home. And Truehold covers all property taxes, insurance, repairs, and maintenance too. Let's review. Truehold pays your home's full value in cash fast. Use your cash to do everything you've dreamed of, like travel or pay off debt. Call 855-300-9993 or visit Truehold.com for the smarter, faster way to cash out your home's full value without having to move. 1-855-300-9993. 1-855-300-9993 or go to Truehold.com.
I'm here for Pioneer Brand Seeds, a block away from another ag company's corporate office. This company concentrates their breeders here in one centralized location. That's not how Pioneer works. Our breeders are located where their test plots are. That way, Pioneer corn breeders gain insights about what does and doesn't work for a local geography in real time. Ask your local Pioneer sales representative about field-proven Pioneer brand corn hybrids. And like our breeders, they're located near you.
If you own a house in St. Louis and you want to sell it as is, without any inspections or the need to make any repairs, call Chris Buys Homes St. Louis at 314-328-8000 or at chrisbuyshomes.louis.com and get your cash offer without any obligations, commissions, banks, or headaches. Chris buys vacant houses, inherited houses, fixer-uppers, beautiful houses, even the tenant won't pay the rent apartment. Google Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis. That's Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis, and check out the best reviews from satisfied customers. When you sell to Chris, you decide when you want to move, according to your schedule and your terms. Go to chrisbuyshomesinstlouis.com. Google Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis or call 314-328-8000. That's 314-328-8000. Call Chris and get the offer you've been waiting for. Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis.com. That's Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis.com or call 314-328-8000.
54 years, Old Town Donuts in Florissant and Cottleville. Get a dozen award-winning donuts for under $10. Just bring in the coupon from the website on your smartphone. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week in Florissant. Get your dozen and grab a coffee or latte today.
Your signature events this summer are all in Fairview Heights. Midwest Wingfest is back again this year on September 2nd and 3rd. This fun-filled two-day event will attract more than 30,000 attendees from far and wide to enjoy enjoy chicken wings, music, and great brews while raising money for a good cause. This event is held on the east parking lot of the St. Clair Super Regional Shopping Mall. For more information, visit MidwestWingFest.com. Brought to you in part by the Illinois Office of Tourism and Illinois South Tourism in partnership with the City of Fairview Heights.
The show, sponsored by Straight Realty, your St. Louis area experts. Why pay more than 314-441-4444. Amy, Chris, and Kevin.
The greatest radio talk show host ever.
Now, more of the show.
All right, coming up on the 1 o'clock hour, Ronj, after the top of the hour news, we're going to play a little game. We're going to see how good you are at identifying real lyrics to songs that have the most misheard lyrics, according to one study that I just saw. That, you know, the people always mix up the ones. Some of the weird. I don't know if there's any song that stands out to you like that. I've had a few of them over the years where I thought they were saying one thing, and then obviously you're like, wait a minute, that doesn't even make any sense. And then you see what they're really saying, and you're like, huh, that doesn't make sense either sometimes.
Isn't that what In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida is?
Yes, In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida is really supposed to be in the Garden of Eden.
Yes.
But they were so drugged out, they couldn't speak.
That's right.
Yeah, that's In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida. That's a whole song. But we're going to get into some of the most often misheard song lyrics after the news.
Hi, this is Ken.
And Laurie Heisey of Heisey Advisory Group. We're dedicated to helping individuals and families work toward their financial goals.
Join us Sundays at 9:30 a.m. for Your Retirement Highway.
Investment advisory services by individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
If you own a business, this has been a bumpy ride. From pandemic to inflation, I'm sure you could use a break. If your business has 5 or more employees and survived COVID, you may be eligible to receive a payroll tax refund of up to $26,000 per employee. The challenge is getting your hands on it. Hi, I'm Howard Mackler, and that's why I founded GetRefunds.com to cut through the red tape and get you the money. The team of tax attorneys we have put together are highly trained in this little-known payroll tax refund program. We do all the work, charge not a dime up front, and simply share a percentage of the cash that we get for you. Businesses of all types can qualify, including those that took PPP, nonprofits, and even those that had increases in sales. We have helped return over $1 billion to businesses, and we can help you too. Just go to getrefunds.com, click on Qualify Me, and answer a few questions. This payroll tax refund is only available for a limited period of time. Don't lose out on up to $26,000 per employee. Go to getrefunds.com. That's getrefunds.com.
With Pedal the Cause, you can make a real difference in the fight against cancer. Ride your bike, grab a spot in the spin zone, volunteer, and join the celebration September 23rd through 25th. 100% of participant-raised funds support innovative cancer research at Siteman Cancer Center and Siteman Kids at St. Louis Children's Hospital. Together, we can create a world without cancer. Get started now at pedalthecause.org. That's pedalthecause.org.
The eyes of the chess world are on St. Louis, the chess capital of the United States. St. Louis Chess Club proudly hosts the 2022 Sinkfield Cup from September 1st to the 12th. 10 of the world's best grandmasters, including world champion Magnus Carlsen and St. Louis's own Fabiano Caruana, Lanier Dominguez, and Levon Aronian. Rounds start at 1 p.m. daily. Watch all the action on grandchesstour.org.
KMOX, KEZK HD2, K254CR, St. Louis.
The legendary voice of St. Louis, KMOX. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
Hey guys, Glover here with my very, very good friend, Dr. Kathy Maupin at BioBalanceHealth.com. If you have reached that certain age and you're just not feeling very well and nothing's working the way it used to work, go see Dr. Kathy. She is not only a medical doctor, she is a patient of this bioidentical hormone replacement therapy. It absolutely works. It's a long-term solution. She is an artist when it comes to helping you with your hormones. BioBalanceHealth.com for Dr. Kathy Maupin.
Hi, it's Debbie Monterey, and I see clearly thanks to Doctors Birdie and Malhotra. You can too. Go to youridoc.com today or call 314-966-5000.
Mid-America's most trusted source for news. KMOX.
At 1 o'clock, it's a sunny sky and 84 degrees downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun. Our top story this hour. A federal judge in Florida is hearing arguments today on whether to appoint an outside legal expert to review government records seized by the FBI last month in a search of former President Donald Trump's Florida home. The Department of Transportation is out with an airline dashboard. It's a place where you can see standard cancellation and delay policies of the major airlines.
9 of the 10 largest U.S. airlines announced policies to issue meal vouchers or get passengers a hotel room if their flights are delayed more than 3 hours or if the flights are canceled. The policies themselves aren't really new. Many carriers had them in place internally, with decisions made on a case-by-case basis by supervisors. But this now formalizes the meal and accommodations opportunities across the board. The one exception, if the delay or cancellation is caused by weather. Peter Greenberg, travel editor, CBS News.
A local emergency room doctor says the goals are clear for those like him who treat opioid addicts.
We just have to focus on destigmatizing and increasing access, and hopefully increasing funding for the individuals who would otherwise be turned away due to lack of insurance or lack of funding.
Mercy Health Dr. Dustin Smith tells the show he hasn't seen any of the rainbow fentanyl here that's making national headlines, mainly press pills and capsules. St. Louis City SC fans are circling a date on the calendar.
It's official. The maiden voyage for Centene Stadium is set for Sunday, September 18th. The field's mint condition will be greeted by cleats of City 2 and Sporting KC 2 footballers. Teams play in Major League Soccer's minor league system. It's being considered a soft opening for employees and fans, and it's going to be a private party. Tickets will only be made available to season ticket holders, and only the lower bowl of seats will be filled. Outside Centene Stadium in downtown West, Stuart McMillan, KMOX News.
KMOX Sports, a former Cardinals pitcher is handed a suspension.
Major League Baseball has suspended free agent pitcher Carlos Martinez for 85 games for violating its joint domestic violence, sexual assault, and child abuse policy. MLB says the punishment is retroactive to June 19th. Martinez has not pitched for the Cardinals since 2021. He was let go to free agency at the end of that season. Under the policy, Martinez will participate in a confidential evaluation and treatment program supervised by the league's Joint Policy Board. Martinez was also suspended in May for 80 games under baseball's minor league drug program after he tested positive for a performance-enhancing substance. Tom Ackerman, KMOX Sports.
The First Mid Bank and Trust Business Desk and Edit Tweet feature is coming.
Soon you'll be able to edit your tweets for the first time ever. Twitter will make this feature available to users who pay $5 a month for a subscription. The Edit Tweet button will let users make changes for up to 30 minutes after a tweet is originally published. Courtney Donahoe, Bloomberg Radio.
The Dow from Stifel's down 95 points to 31,414. KMOX traffic. Emergency vehicles have been cleared from 70 east past Lucas and Hunt to stall 141 north past Gravois in the left lane. Stall 6440 west of Boone's Crossing on the right shoulder.
KMOX AccuWeather. It's going to feel hot, not that humid, upper 80s to near 90 this afternoon with sunshine more than clouds. And then we're within a few degrees of 90 heading into the holiday weekend. Tomorrow's dry. There could be some thunderstorms, especially later on Sunday and Monday. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Steve DeVore on the Voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
Sponsored by STL Windows Direct. It's partly cloudy and 84 in Florissant, 84 in St. Peters, and 84 degrees downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
Not all windows are created equal. See things more clearly with an STL Windows Direct window. Compare the difference at STLWindowsDirect.com. STLWindowsDirect.com.
STL Windows Direct.
The show, sponsored by Straight Realty, your St. Louis area experts. Why pay more than $4? 314-441-4444.
It's 104 on the show. Chris Ranchi, Kevin Wheeler here. Amy Marskors is off on vacation. She'll be back next week. You can reach us, 314-436-7900. Now, we're going to play a little game here because I saw a story yesterday that listed the most often misheard song lyrics and found the ones that Americans get wrong the most. So I gave one away. I told you about one of them. We'll use that as our example. And then we'll play the clip. And then after that, Ranj, I'm going to give you some wrong lyrics.
Okay, all right.
The ones the way that they're misheard, and see if you can then figure out the song and the artist. You can figure out the lyrics if you'd like. I mean, I'm not going to make you go that far. It's only one line though. It's not like full choruses or anything like that. They're all little one-line things. They're very simple. We don't want to make this out to be too complicated. But what they did was they polled Americans about different songs, about which lyrics they've misheard the most often. And a couple of interesting notes right out of the gate. The kind of music that is most often misinterpreted is EDM. Electronic music.
Yeah.
EDM. The two kinds of music that are least mistaken are R&B and metal.
R&B and metal
are the ones that have the least misheard lyrics.
Well, so in metal, I understand because they're when you're growling,
but
you're just growling
those are the ones
sounds.
that people understand.
Well, I mean, it's easy to understand growling. That's not a word.
You're
thinking it's just growling.
You're thinking of death metal. That's not that.
Well, that's
regular
metal.
Regular metal is not death metal. Now, the example that was given, because this was the headline that I saw. The headline that I saw was the most misheard song lyrics, according to this poll, were these. So it's from Enter Sandman from Metallica, right? So what do you hear there?
Exit, light, enter, night.
That's it. Exit,
right?
light. Okay, but this is what people say they hear. Now put this in your head and listen to it again. People say that they hear eggs and light and all nights.
What?
I'm telling. I never thought that before. That's the most misheard song in America, according to this poll.
What?
From wordfinder.com.
Okay. I'm not a Metallica person.
I think you're right. I think that's easy.
That is super easy.
Yes.
This has to be a clickbait. This has to be clickbait.
Let's go through some of the other ones.
Okay.
All right. So there are a few others. So we tried to pick different types of music, Ranj. But all of these are popular songs. I don't think any of these are like deep cuts or anything along those lines. Let's go with one that is absolutely one of the biggest hits from the time that it came out. All right. So I'm going to read the wrong lyrics.
Okay.
If you can get the band or the song, that's great. And if, by the way, if anybody wants to throw them in, they can. 314-436-7900. With the lights out, it's less dangerous. Oh, God bless it. I blew it.
I already know what that is.
You know what it is. It's Nirvana.
Yeah, it's Nirvana.
Okay, so I blew it.
You blew it.
I read the blue one instead of the light blue one. So the wrong one is, this is what people say.
You should use two different colors.
I know. This is what people say they hear. With the lights out, it's Las Vegas. Hear me all now, entertainers. That's
what? Come on. This is a joke.
This is what people told them.
This is a joke.
No, it says this is what they hear. They hear with the lights out, it's Las Vegas. Hear me all now, entertainers. That's what they hear instead of this. Okay, so again, I think those are both ridiculous. Let's get to some that are a little bit different, though. There's a couple. There's one that's an older song. This is a classic. And here's the mistake. The mistake is I get high, I get high, I get high. That's what people mistakenly hear.
Wait. Oh, that's Beatles.
Dude, really good.
Yeah, Beatles. Is it I Get By instead?
No.
I can't wait.
I can tell you, or I can just play it.
Oh, yeah. Tell you something. That's it, right?
Yes.
And,
good job, dude.
Wanna hold your hand?
There you go.
Yeah.
My entire life,
I thought it was I Get
wrong.
High.
I know. My entire life, I got that wrong. Until I saw this, I thought they were saying I get high. They're saying I can't hide.
Oh, yeah.
I can't hide. I can't hide. I can't hide. I got that wrong my entire life.
I think I did know that. I think I heard that at some point, but I just forgot.
Last night was
that's good.
First time. Last night was the first time that I got that I knew that. All
wow.
Right. Here's a different genre of music. And I don't know if you're going to get this one or not. You might. But the misheard lyric is, I guess he's an expert, but I'm more attorney.
That's the misspoken?
That's the misspoken one. It says, I guess he's an expert, but I'm more attorney.
What? I guess he's an what the hell? I guess he's an expert.
No, those aren't the real ones.
Yeah, I know, but like, I don't know. I have no idea what that is.
All right, so here's the clip.
I guess he's an Xbox and I'm more an attorney.
Now, doesn't that sound like I guess he's an expert and I'm more an attorney?
I guess he's an Xbox and I'm more an attorney.
I heard Xbox in there.
It is. That's CeeLo Green. The song is "Forget You." He says, "I guess he's an Xbox and I'm more Atari."
Oh, yeah, okay.
But I mean,
yeah.
If I didn't have the lyrics in front of me, I'd never figure that out. And that, again, a pretty big hit song.
And that's the song "Blank You," right?
No, it's called "Forget You." What? Yeah,
Forget You.
That's the nice version of it.
That's right. That's the radio edit.
The nice version of it was the way that we're going to go with it. And then, all right, let's do one more quick one that we have the audio for. And then I got a couple of more that are bigger classics that I think people are going to laugh at because they're old school. All right, so this is one. This is the wrong one. The wrong one says, "We fell in love and I bought this place."
Oh, I know this. It's supposed to be. It's I fell in love. We fell in love in a hopeless place.
We found love.
We found love.
Good job. What is it?
Is it Rihanna? Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
So there's a comic, and his name I'm forgetting. He's a British comic. He does this on stage where he has all of these songs queued up on a little recorder, and he'll tell you the wrong thing, like what the misheard lyric, and then when he plays it, you can't hear the real thing. All you can hear is the wrong version.
Yeah,
because it puts it in your head that's what you're going to hear. And then when I read these, that's what I now hear when I'm listening to it.
That's incredible. I love that so much. All right.
You want to do some old ones? We don't have the music for these next couple, but we got a couple of older ones. Some of them are like some of the classic ones. All right, get this one. This one you'll probably get. Take Me Down to a Very Nice City.
Oh, that's Paradise City.
Paradise City. Yeah, that's a good one.
Take Me Down to the Paradise City.
Take Me Down to Paradise City, not to a very nice city. Which people get wrong all the time.
That's easy.
Let's see here. Where's one? There's another one that was one of the best of all time. Like you mentioned the In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida. That was just drugs. That wasn't a bad lyric. That's just they were really high and they couldn't speak. All right. The misheard lyric, like a cheese stick.
Like a cheese. Is it that's like a G6?
Like a G6.
That's it.
Yeah. That's a good one, but that one might be a little bit more obscure unless you pay attention. How about
like a G6?
How about these older
like a
schools?
G6.
You'll get this one, I think, right away.
Okay.
Excuse me while I kiss this guy.
Oh, that's Jimi Hendrix.
That
while
one
I kiss the sky.
Yeah,
I've heard that one before. I never thought it sounds.
I didn't
totally
think it when I
easy.
heard it, but when you hear somebody say it, it makes. I mean, when you listen to it, you can totally hear it.
Well, yeah. I mean, now that you put it into my
the,
head.
The problem with the misheard lyrics, it's why they're so ridiculous, is most of them don't fit within the context of the song.
Right.
Like you're hearing something that doesn't make any sense within with what they're singing about.
But most of these so far, I've never heard the off version.
Oh, really? All right. How about this one?
Okay.
This is from one of the most popular songs in the history of humankind. There's a wino down the road. Is the misheard lyric? There's a wino down the road.
There's a wino. I know I'm going to know this one.
You will when you hear it.
I don't know.
I can't. It's supposed to be, and as we wind on down the road, it's "Stairway to Heaven" by Led Zeppelin.
As we wind on down
there's a wino
that part.
down the road. Yeah.
All right.
You want to do one more?
Yes, I want to do all of them.
Well, there are a couple more that are like in that range of like they're just you've heard them so many times, and they're probably. I don't know. When you think like there's one from, let's see here. Oh, no, you'll get that one just because of the word that's in there. There's, here you go. This one I thought for sure was it when I was a kid. I was wrong, but I always thought this was the actual lyric. It said, "There's a bathroom on the right."
What?
There's a bathroom on the right.
Bathroom on the right. I don't know.
It's Creedence Clearwater Revival, "Bad Moon Rising," and then "There's a bad moon on the rise" is the actual lyric. Yeah.
People think there's a bathroom on the right.
It sounds like that when you do it, or when you listen to it.
I see a bad moon rising.
There's a
that. Yeah.
Yep.
They think that part is there. I see a bathroom on the right.
That's what. There's a
later
bathroom on the right.
Okay.
It doesn't really make sense again with the context of the song. It's just when you hear it real quick and you're like, wait, what did they just say? Most of these I've heard of, but they didn't have that impact. I mean, I didn't go like, wait, what a minute, that doesn't make sense. There's one though that I did think again, this was when I was younger, so I was a kid, and it's a totally common mistake. You will probably get this one. This will be our closer because this is one of the most commonly misheard ones I think of all time. Hold Me Closer, Tony Danza.
Oh, come right. It's Elton John. It's Tiny Dancer. Come on. Nobody ever really thought it was Tony Danza.
I did.
You did not.
But I was like 12.
No.
I thought that's what he was
You
saying.
didn't know who Tony Danza is when you were 12?
At that time, Tony Danza was a big star. He was a big TV guy. And I didn't know.
Who's the boss?
Yeah.
No.
And it wasn't at the time of that song. I'm talking about at the time that I was a kid and heard that lyric. Because obviously, those two things weren't exactly lined up. The song Tiny Dancer and Tony Danza's peak career moment.
A texter to 314-436-7900, Elton John. And I know what song they're talking about here. This is from a 573. She has electric boobs and Mo has you. It's Benny and the Jets. That's the song they're thinking about.
It is?
Yeah, but
What
I don't know
part
what
is
the
that?
line. She has a. Come on. What do you mean? What part is it? She has
No,
electric
I know. Like,
boobs.
what are the real? You got to text us the real lyrics.
I know it's not that. I don't know what the lyrics are, but I know. I know it's not electric boobs.
It's electric boots and a mohair suit.
Oh, there you go. I would totally get that wrong.
I'm allergic to mohair.
I don't even know what that is.
It's like it's a fabric.
I know. It really, thanks. I don't know what mohair is though. Like,
It's
what is
hair of a mo.
Do I have more hair?
No, it's a kind of hair.
Okay, and it's on suits.
On suits.
Okay.
Another 636 texter says, I've been listening to metal for so long, I can actually understand super harsh guttural vocals most of the time.
Oh, same. It's our own language.
In Ace Ventura: Pet Detective, when he walks into the club and that band is going,
Yeah.
like that's all metal is to me.
No,
that's
it's not.
all I hear.
I got to get you on the good stuff.
And by the way, that's Cannibal Corpse.
And that's also
That's
by
a
the
real
way,
band.
Oh, yeah.
Ron, it's like
It is?
That's like comparing, somebody like it's like comparing rock from like the Beatles era to like rock when you're talking about like the Rolling, not the Rolling Stones, the like Aerosmith and all this. They're going to sound different, but they're not, and they're in the same general family, but they're not the same thing. You're thinking death metal, which is not metal. Metal is like Metallica and Motley Crue and those kind of things. That's what that is.
I had absolutely no idea that that was a real actual band.
Oh yeah, Cannibal Corpse, yeah.
And they made that movie because of Jim Carrey. He was such a big fan of theirs.
Yep.
Really?
Yep.
That's
don't play this.
Why?
You got to be careful.
Is it?
Yeah, there's dirty words.
Yeah,
some
you
of
guys
the
in this
songs.
one?
Yes, be careful.
All right, then we won't do it.
Sometimes it's not easy to tell.
Well, because it's just growling.
Yeah, but you don't know. You don't know if somebody's going to hear you. You got to be careful. Screen the lyrics
Okay,
first.
well, I mean, this was from Ace Ventura, actually from the movie.
Yeah, well, the movie, they swore in the movie.
They did?
Yes. He did all kinds of crude
Well,
things
no,
in the
he
movie.
did, but Cannibal Corpse, I didn't know. First of all, I didn't even know that was a band.
Yeah,
So,
they're not good, though.
okay.
Yeah. All right. Roger, you did a good job. I didn't think you were going to get all those, but I was impressed with the Rihanna pickup. You knew the Beatles one like instantly.
Yeah, I knew that one.
Yeah.
This texter from a 636, Mama Say, Mama Sa, Mama Makusa. Like, I have no idea what that is.
I don't even know why. You're right.
I still don't. That's Michael Jackson.
Yeah, that's the Michael Jackson. I don't know what that lyric is. I've never heard the real one.
I'm right now trying to think of the name of the song. I can't think of what the song is right now. I can't hear it.
We'll come back and check on it. Like I'll look it up. We'll find the song. Maybe we'll rejoin.
It's on
with
Thriller.
That song.
I know it's on the Thriller.
We'll rejoin with that song to figure it out.
Okay.
636. Oh my God, is Cannibal Corpse a real band? LMAO. Yeah, it is.
No, I don't believe you.
They're not good though. I wouldn't pay attention to that very much. All right, we'll solve that Michael Jackson song mystery next on the show.
For everything online, it's Odyssey.com. Download the Odyssey app and listen to KMOX for all the news, sports, talk, and podcasts that move you. Odyssey, that's AUDACY.
Business owners and professionals face special challenges in divorce court. In addition to everything else going on, they have to contend with allegations that they are earning more than they are, coupled with claims on their business or practice itself.
Attorney CPA Joe Cordell.
An effective defense often hinges on sophisticated strategies relating to income tax projections, business valuations, spousal support claims. Clients with assets depend on their divorce lawyer's skills in these matters, and that's why it's so important to hire someone that has those skills.
The attorneys at Cordell & Cordell work to help men maximize their role in their children's lives, which includes protecting men's financial means to do so. Contact Cordell & Cordell to schedule an appointment with one of our firm's St. Louis area attorneys, a partner men can count on. 600 Kelwood Parkway, Suite 310, Town & Country, Missouri, 63017. Online at CordellCordell.com. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
New Dove
Men
body
suffering
wash
from
with
erectile
microbiome
dysfunction or
nutrient
PE,
serum.
regardless of age or past medical history, you'll see instant results on your first visit at Paramount Men's Medical Center. And for a limited time, your initial consultation and first treatment are totally free. Call now 314-720-8081.
In this market, you'll find Fisher Investments is different than other money managers.
Different how? Aren't we all just looking for the hottest stocks?
Nope, we use diversified strategies to position our clients' portfolios for their long-term goals.
You don't just provide cookie-cutter portfolios?
No, we tailor our clients' portfolios to their goals and needs.
But you still sell investments that generate high commissions for you, right?
No, we don't sell commission-based products. We're a fiduciary, the highest standard of care for a financial advisor. It means we're obligated to act in our clients' best interest.
So when do you make more money? Only when your clients make more money?
Yep, we have one transparent management fee structured, so we do better when our clients do better.
Sounds like you really look out for your clients.
We do, because our priority is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement. That might be why most of our clients come from other money managers. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you switch to us. Fisher Investments, clearly different money management.
Investments in securities involve the risk of loss.
Hi, this is Charlie Brendan. Do you have a home or a business made out of stone or brick? If so, listen up, because Morelli Tuck Pointing is the masonry specialist, serving St. Louis for 31 years. Morelli Tuck Pointing can work on completely solid houses and buildings, spot pointing with color match, brick and stone repair, foundation repair, walkways, porches. This time of year, people notice that their patios are somewhat cattywampus and those bricks need realignment. How about caulking, waterproofing? Morelli is a family-owned and operated business. Longtime employees there feel like family. And of course, everyone at Morelli is very proud to be a recipient of the Better Business Bureau Torch Award, which is only given to local companies with exceptional customer service. Today, you can call to request a free and quick estimate at 314-645-1387. When it comes to bricks and stone, go to the best. Morelli Tuck Pointing at MorelliTuckPointing.com.
Nationally recognized, locally invested, Busey Bank is pleased to be named one of America's best banks for 2022 by Forbes. A prestigious and humbling honor, Busey is proud to deliver best-in-class service to our valued customers and vibrant communities. Whatever your financial needs, partner with an award-winning team for solutions to your business, wealth, and personal banking needs. Building business, growing wealth since 1868. Member FDIC.
CertaPro painters have powers beyond those of ordinary painters.
The power of precision.
That's the power of a skilled local team who know what they're doing.
The power of accurate estimates.
Estimates, not guesstimates.
The power of certainty.
CertaPro painters. That's the power of pro. Get your project started at CertaPro.com.
Each CertaPro painter's business is independently owned and operated.
News, talk, sports. The voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
All right, the show on KMOX. The subject is misheard lyrics. I have no idea what's being said there.
That is, well, it's exactly what you think it is.
Is it?
It's not English. It's so that is from Wanna Be Startin' Something. Wanna Be Startin' Something by Michael Jackson. You've heard of him. He's no longer with us. But the end of the song is from a Cameroonian saxophonist.
Okay.
Who had a song in 1972. It was a disco song called Soul Makusa or Soul
Okay.
Makasa.
Makes sense.
And that's where that line comes from. And he repeats it like 50 times.
Oh, yeah. But now it makes sense, though, because I always thought he was saying something else and just they weren't enunciating clearly. And I'll tell you, the misheard lyric on that, right? So what is it really again?
The last part?
Like, what is it again? Like the real version of it is?
What?
What is he actually saying?
About the vegetable?
No. The part that you're talking
It's
about.
Mama say, Mama sama,
Okay,
Mama
so
sa, that part.
So
yeah.
what people say they hear is, I'm a stand on the side that Michael's on.
What? Come on.
Well, if you don't understand another
I've
language,
never-
you might try to hear something that you would understand.
I never even heard.
Put it in your head when you hear the song next time.
That just never occurred to me. But what's weird about the song, it's like he does say you're a vegetable like several times.
So it's weird because a lot of the verses.
I always thought that was me mishearing it.
Yeah, me too.
So he says, you're a vegetable, still they hate you, you're a vegetable, you're just a buffet, you're a vegetable, they eat off of you, you're a vegetable. That's real.
And I thought that was me mishearing it.
So did I.
But the funny thing is, like, some of the verses, like, they make total sense. You could see where he's going, you can see what he's saying. I don't understand what that means.
I don't know. Unless he's saying something about being a celebrity.
I mean, again, I guess
but people are always trying to get things from you and they need you and whatever.
I guess so.
I don't know.
It's too weird.
Because at that point of his life, he was a massive celebrity and had been his entire life, basically. So maybe that's what he's talking about.
Okay. And that's our TED Talk on misheard lyrics.
Okay. And then he went and did creepy things. So
well, I mean, I don't think he went and did. I think that was going on all that time too.
Yeah, probably.
It is funny though. Like there's I don't know what the scientific principle is, but it is funny how our mind will fill in the blanks when we don't fully understand something, right? Like you're hearing a song and you're hearing it quick and you're not really sure exactly what they're saying, but your mind will fill in that gap because we don't like the uncertainty. And I can't remember, there was somebody who had a term for it. It's not a scientific term, but somebody had some kind of explanation for why we do that.
I don't have an explanation for that either.
But I love it because I think
you know what it is?
Hilarious.
I think it's a similar idea to why people stereotype. Because when they don't have information, they just fill it in themselves.
Just like with dino DNA, using the frog DNA in Jurassic Park.
From the mosquito.
Cotton
That's
amber.
right. I can't wait till we have dinosaurs again.
What do you want out of life? If you need great talk, insight, and a little fun in your life, then you need the Dave Glover Show.
Oh, I just want a simple life. I just want to be happy. Simple. But it seems to me that in 2022, it's just not acceptable in the U.S. to be average. No one wants to be average. We fight average like we would fight the measles.
The Dave Glover Show.
My life.
Weekdays beginning at 2 on KMOX.
Inflation is the highest it's been in 40 years. Lots of financial uncertainty out there. And joining me now, Steve All from the All Financial Group. Steve, you say that people are worried about this and they are calling, asking for help.
You know, that's probably the biggest question that we have right now. Jim and Joanne, they called and they said that, we've got about $650,000 saved for retirement. We're 65, 67. And we have that fear about, will we run out of money in retirement? And can we keep up with inflation? So we brought them in. We did the analysis for them. And when we started to look at their risk reward, they were almost predominantly in cash because they just have a great big fear of the market. And the idea that when we got back and actually did it, they are like other people that they're going to go broke safely because they're not willing to take some risk with some part of their portfolio. We don't need to be 90% invested, but we need something in the quote stocks to give us that rate of return that can keep up with or succeed and go ahead of inflation. So we kind of looked at it and said, okay, what other things are available? What will give me a bigger return than currently people being sitting in cash? Because the banks are currently paying 0.0 and you put the number behind it. They're not a whole lot higher than that. So what are we going to do for those people? I look at a couple different places. If I can get a fixed interest rate for a set period of time, 5 years, between 2 and 3%, it always is going to change. So to be whatever you would get when you come in, that would be something. That's a fixed annuity.
To find out how you can inflation-proof your retirement income plan, give a call today, 636-230-8824, 636-230-8824. More details on the website at yourmoneymattersstl.com. Investment advisory services offered by All Financial Group LLC, a registered investment advisor in Missouri. Insurance products are offered through its affiliate, All Insurance Group LLC, licensed in Missouri and Illinois.
At 1:30, it's sunny and 84 degrees downtown at the Arch. In Jackson, Mississippi's capital city, some residents and businesses have water restored after crews work to fix improvements at a water treatment plant. Those among Jackson's 150,000 residents who had water running remained under a boil order that predates the problems caused by the flooding. Governor Tate Reeves.
Do not drink the water. Do not use the water to brush your teeth. If you're going to drink the water, please boil it.
Fire-related issues lead to a big recall at Ford.
The problem is with a blower motor assembly in 2015 through 17 Ford Expeditions and Lincoln Navigators. There have been 25 fires reported, leading to 1 injury and 3 reports of property damage. This is unrelated to a similar recall involving newer Expeditions and Navigators.
From Detroit, reporter Jeff Gilbert says Ford has had 52 recalls this year. A St. Charles man was killed riding his motorcycle in Jefferson County. Missouri State Highway Patrol says 34-year-old Wyatt Housen tried to make a left onto Pioneer Road from Route A when he struck the side of a sedan driven by a Hillsboro man. It happened last night about 6:30. Emergency vehicles cleared from 70 East past Lucas and Hunt, and we've got some construction on 64 East at 159 that's causing a bit of a backup. Also 70 East at Cave Springs, some construction in the left lane. Weather sponsored by St. Louis City SC. More sun than clouds today with a high 88. Patchy clouds overnight, the low 70. Hot with some sun tomorrow, high near 90. The new MLS club is now hiring stadium employees for their historic inaugural season to work for St. Louis's professional soccer team. Visit bit.ly/apply at City. It's sunny and 84 downtown at the Arch. All the news you need for your day is on the free Odyssey app. Download it now. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
Carol Daniel for Ophthalmology Associates. For the best eye doctors, you need to see the doctors at Ophthalmology Associates. Online at youridoc.com or 314-966-5000.
Driven by the Bomarito Automotive Group, the voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
CertaPro painters have powers beyond those of ordinary painters.
Power of timeliness.
We show up when we say we will, on time and fully caffeinated.
The power of transformation.
Also known as making your house look so good, your neighbors will be jealous.
The power of certainty.
That's your local CertaPro painters. The power of pro. Get your project started at CertaPro.com.
Each CertaPro painter's business is independently owned and operated.
If you own a house in St. Louis and you want to sell it as is, without any inspections or the need to make any repairs, call Chris Buys Homes St. Louis at 314-328-8000 or at chrisbuyshomes.louis.com and get your cash offer without any obligations, commissions, banks, or headaches. Chris buys vacant houses, inherited houses, fixer-uppers, beautiful houses, even the tenant won't pay the rent apartment. Google Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis. That's Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis, and check out the best reviews from satisfied customers. When you sell to Chris, you decide when you want to move, according to your schedule and your terms. Go to chrisbuyshomesinstlouis.com. Google Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis or call 314-328-8000. That's 314-328-8000. Call Chris and get the offer you've been waiting for. Chris Buys Homes in St. That's Chris Buys Homes in St. or call 314-328-8000.
Keep up with all things Cardinals with Cardinals Conversations. Hear pre- and post-game shows, the latest from the manager and the front office, how Albert's doing.
Home run, Albert Pujols.
To replays of Live by Lowe's and much more. Cardinals Conversations, available now on the podcast page at KMOX.com.
All right, 134 on the show. Chris Raji, Kevin Wheeler here. Amy Markscores will rejoin us next week. She's on vacation right now. You can join us pretty much anytime you want during the show, 314-436-7900. And you can also drop the voicemail, 314-944-1120.
Hey, this is Tim. Yeah, I say you start playing them on Thanksgiving all the way through December. That's my opinion. Have a good one.
Raji's got back.
Oh,
we were talking earlier about the Christmas songs.
Told you.
So
there's my vindication again.
But Matt Pauly's with me.
Well, Matt Pauly, he lost sleep last night because he had to work that long Cardinals game. He didn't get a chance to really get good rest. So there you go. That's a vote for me. Christmas music is okay, not just the day after Thanksgiving, but Tim says on Thanksgiving Day, you can start playing Christmas tunes. Thank you, Tim.
You got another backer on the text line from the 314 that said the music and trees starting after Thanksgiving through 2 to 3 days after Christmas is actually celebrating the Advent season, which is the coming of Christmas. So the actual Christmas season starts 3 days before Christmas and continues for 4 weeks. So there's 2 different ways to look at the calendar. I'm not really worried about the details, but at least that's a rational look at it. But you could go either way there, though.
I appreciate it. I appreciate the rational look and the acknowledgement that Christmas tunes are good this year on November 25th.
Do you listen to, I'm being serious. Do you listen to other songs that sound like Christmas carols? That are of that genre, that are of that style?
Well, like outside of?
Era? Yes, not. Do you listen to non-Christmas carols from those eras?
Not really. I mean, I'll listen to...
There's a reason for that.
I will listen to, like, Sinatra sometimes.
Okay. But I mean, like, think of, like, Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas. Do you listen to other songs that are that style, but just not about Christmas? They're just songs from that era.
I don't. That's a really difficult question, Kevin.
No, it's not because you know you don't.
Nothing sounds like a Christmas
That's
tune.
really no, the music back then did. That's the point. And that is where my objection lies. Not with the fact that it's a Christmas carol, but it sounds like music from a time where I don't like the music.
I don't know why you hate Christmas so much.
No, I love Christmas. It's the best.
Apparently not.
I mean, come on, food and presents and
the
stuff.
evidence suggests otherwise.
I mean, I'm a giant child.
Kevin
How would I not love that?
You're in the living room, opening your presents, yelling at people to turn off that music.
I've got footy PJs and all that. No. On Christmas, it's fine. Christmas Eve parties and all that, it's fine.
And on November 25th.
No.
Can't wait. Let's go.
All right. So I had I don't know if it's a serious thought, Ranj, but it's a little bit more serious than what we were joking about with misheard song lyrics, right? We just spent a little time with misheard lyrics, and it's funny and laughing and all that. But it also made me think about how we often, and by we, I mean everybody, okay? I mean human beings, how we often, like we said, we fill in the blanks. Our mind doesn't like the spots that we don't have a full-on explanation for, so we fill in the blanks. And it got me thinking about, during the last break, about how we talk past each other when we talk about politics. So if you hear the person that you didn't vote for say something about someone you did, you wear that. You're like, he's talking about me. So, for example, Joe Biden using the term semi-fascism the other day. Somebody listening to that voted for Donald Trump hears that, and they think he's talking about me. He's calling me a fascist. And it's the same when Donald Trump would call somebody a socialist, and then somebody who voted for Joe Biden would be like, he's calling me a socialist. And I think what I'm saying here is that it's very easy, as we hear with song lyrics, which are meaningless. It's entertainment, and how easy it is for two people to hear two very different things, even though that thing is what it is, right? The lyrics are one way, but you can hear them correctly or incorrectly. And we do this all the time. And my thought is, tell me if I'm crazy or if I'm overthinking it, that maybe people that are in positions of power need to be better with language, need to be better and more concise and more specific about what they're trying to say, because the more you speak in broad generalizations, the more you're alienating people. And again, I don't know that I hate the whole quote unquote both sides thing, but I do think I think everyone does this to a degree unintentionally. I also think some people do it intentionally because they know that words cause emotions, and you want to use the words that get the emotions up in your supporters, whether it's anger or excitement or whatever. And you want to use words that kind of tamp down on the enthusiasm of your opponents. I do think we need to be, when it comes to important people, better with language, less loose with how we want to define things.
Well, it's to me, it's like rhetorical mumbling. Like you're not being clear. You're being ambiguous, sometimes on purpose, but sometimes just because you're an idiot and you don't know how to speak. And we have had
also because sometimes when you're very specific, it gets you in trouble because that's when you're wrong. When you speak in generalities, you're less likely to be called incorrect about something.
Right. But what you can say, well, here's the other side of this. You can say as a politician, I'm not talking about the entire, for example, the entire Republican Party, but there is a small section of the Republican Party that is this. And it's a loud, vocal, powerful section of the party that is this. But I think even if you were very clear with it, there are people who are going to hear what you're talking about. They're going to hear, oh, he's talking about the entire party, even when he just specifically said it's this one thing. And I'm not talking about Biden specifically. I'm talking about anything.
This has been going on for decades with people when somebody's talking about an issue. And again, it happened in the other way when you say, well, you know, the left-wing socialists. Well, okay, there are those people. They do exist.
Well, okay.
But they don't represent a larger portion of that group of people. But again, those people do exist. And the hard part here is, I don't know, maybe it becomes word salad, Raj. Maybe it takes too many words to provide the detail necessary to make it clear to everyone that you're talking about a specific group of people and not everybody.
It was a very clumsy way to do it. But for example, Hillary Clinton's deplorables comment, because what she said was there are half of the supporters that she puts into a basket of deplorables. So she's not talking about every one of Donald Trump's supporters. She was talking about part of them.
Well, she
half
said
of
that's
them.
a lot.
Yeah, half is a lot.
And
you're right. But
I don't think that's a productive way to do things.
Well, what I was going to say is it's a clumsy way to do it, but she was more specific than everybody who supports Donald Trump is a deplorable person.
And I guess what I'm asking is...
But that's not what people hear. What they hear is, oh, she said that about me. Well, all of us, we're all like that.
Right, because what we hear typically are sound bites. And when you're only hearing a sound bite, it's easy to attach a lot to it. And that the problem isn't, it's not just who's presenting the information, although that's part of it, because look, people in our line of work tend to sensationalize the things that fire people up. And you'll take the part that makes your side happy or that makes your side unhappy, and you emphasize that, and that's the problem, or that becomes the problem. And this is what I'm saying is, I do think that people in influential positions probably need to be less like that. Be much more specific and individual in criticism as opposed to general, because the more general you are, the more room there is for a misinterpretation or for someone to think you mean them when you don't. You see what I'm saying? Like, if you're at that level to the point where you're trying to run the country, maybe you should be more capable of that.
And I agree.
And
I agree with you. I think Obama was a much better president at that, at being very not that he never misspoke ever, but the amount of times he addressed the public. Of course, there's going to be some misspoken words in there, but he was, generally speaking, very good at being specific about what he was trying to say. And I don't think we've had a lot of that since. We've had very little of that since.
Yeah.
However, I think that even when you are extremely specific, people are still going to hear what they want to hear. They're going to hear what they want to hear. Yes. I mean, let's use Obama, for example. The amount of times I heard people call him divisive. And I listened to him speak, and I don't agree with everything he did, but divisive? Like the language he used was more inclusive, even to the other side, than most presidents since. Well, than most politicians since, not just presidents. And I'm talking about both sides of the aisle. I always thought he was very careful about what he was saying. For somebody who was on TV every day, I thought he attempted to be careful. Didn't always work, but I thought he was like that. But people still said he was divisive, and I think it wasn't that he was actually divisive. I think it was that they just didn't like that he was president.
It could be. I mean, a lot of times divisive could be not just what you're saying, but what you're doing too. If people disagree with your policies,
well, then hell, everybody's divisive.
Exactly right.
I mean, then we're all divisive.
That was the point I was going to make. And it's funny because if you go back to, say, George W. Bush, he probably misspoke more than any president I can ever think of. But it was always kind of a misstep or a goof or a flubble.
It was never intentional.
No, but it also wasn't an attack on someone else.
He wasn't
usually. He wasn't
yeah.
doing the demagoguery thing. He wasn't like, my opponents are evil. He wasn't doing that. He was just making genuine mistakes in
Yes.
flubbing a word here or there, or maybe mixing up words, or just messing up an old phrase.
I never
fool me once, that kind of thing.
Not once did I get the impression that W is a hateful person.
Right.
Not once.
When it came to this political game.
Never once.
Right.
I never got the feeling that he hated a certain group of Americans. Not one time did I feel that way.
No.
And I didn't feel that way about Obama either.
No.
I think maybe since then it's gone a different direction, but
it has the discourse has changed
dramatically. But W got criticized legitimately. There were absolutely things that he should have been criticized for. I mean, the war is the big one.
Yeah.
But I never got the impression out of him that he was a bad guy. Not once did I ever think about him. This guy he's just a terrible person, and he doesn't care about people. Like, I never felt that way about him.
Here's the tinfoil hat version of me. Maybe all of this divisiveness stuff, maybe that's not a lack of care. Maybe that's the intent.
For some people, I believe you're right.
To heat things up.
Sure.
If you will. I hope not, but ideally we would have people a little bit more clear about that. All right, we got one more thing to do, and this was really cool from the Cardinals game, actually from before the Cardinals game last night. Obviously, Albert and Yadi are on their farewell tour. Last night was the last game in Cincy, and a Cincinnati Star helped with honoring them. We'll get to that next up.
In this market, you'll find Fisher Investments is different than other money managers.
Different how? Aren't we all just looking for the hottest stocks?
Nope. We use diversified strategies to position our clients' portfolios for their long-term goals.
You don't just provide cookie-cutter portfolios?
No. We tailor our clients' portfolios to their goals and needs.
But you still sell investments that generate high commissions for you, right?
No, we don't sell commission-based products. We're a fiduciary, the highest standard of care for a financial advisor. It means we're obligated to act in our clients' best interest.
So when do you make more money? Only when your clients make more money?
Yep. We have one transparent management fee structured so we do better when our clients do better.
Sounds like you really look out for your clients.
We do, because our priority is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement. That might be why most of our clients come from other money managers. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you switch to us. Fisher Investments. Clearly different money management.
Investments in securities involve the risk of loss.
Hi, this is Charlie Brennan. If you want the best looking home in the neighborhood, call Banner Construction. You should know that Banner is a James Hardie Elite Preferred Contractor. James Hardie Fiber Cement Siding has the rich look and feel of wood. And Banner is also a Platinum Certified Pella Window Contractor. Those Pella windows are beautiful, and they come with a 30-year warranty. Since 1993, my friends at Banner have engineered their projects to go beyond the basic low-cost solutions. That's more than 25 years of experience. And now is the perfect time to plan for this important project and do what the Brennans do. Call on the experts at Banner. They're ready to help. After all, one of the safest investments you can make today is an exterior renovation to your home. And Banner homes have timeless beauty, striking curb appeal, and ultra-low maintenance. If you take pride in your home, trust it to the team of experts at Banner Construction. Call 314-569-1050 or online, bannerconstruction.com.
Game-O-X Night at the Ballpark returns Wednesday, September 14th as the Cardinals take on the Brewers.
Yachty got into it. It's a goner.
Celebrate Cardinals history in the making. Fans who purchase a special team ticket will receive an exclusive Game-O-X t-shirt honoring Yadier Molina and Albert Pujols.
Another Albert Pujols big line.
Come join us and celebrate at Game-O-X Night at the Ballpark, September 14th. Tickets on sale now at cardinals.com/KMOX.
Hi, this is Ken.
And Lori Heisey of Heisey Advisory Group. We're dedicated to helping individuals and families work toward their financial goals.
Join us Sundays at 9:30 a.m. for Your Retirement Highway.
Investment advisory services by individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
Hi, Mark Goldstein here for Edwards Carpet. Times are tough, we're making less, and you're still paying more. So if you need new flooring, now is the time. Take advantage of our Labor Day sale. Carpet starting at $349, completely installed with pad, including take-up of old carpet and furniture moving. For this sale, everything's on sale. You can take advantage of our 12-month 0% financing, and if that's not enough, you'll pay no tax. Don't miss out, because these days, if you wait, you'll simply pay more. See you soon at Edwards Carpet.
Come on down to Edwards Carpet Stores.
Almost everyone wishes they could play the piano. Hi, this is Kathy from Lacefield Music. But few ever learn, and here's just a few of the reasons why. I can't read music. It will take too long. It's too expensive. It's too hard, or I've tried before and I failed. And this would be true with most piano lessons, but not with Lacefield Music's groundbreaking and innovative adult piano classes. With Lacefield Music's classes, you will learn how to read music, play with both your right and left hand the first week, and be able to play your favorite songs in only 8 weeks. Lacefield Music's adult piano course is usually $100, but twice a year we open this course up to the public for the low price of only $29.99. That's only $29.99 for all 8 weeks. What have you got to lose? Classes are forming now in our South County and Chesterfield locations. Call either location or go to lacefieldmusic.com to sign up. That's LACEFIELD music.com.
This is Corey from Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling, here to tell you about an organization that is near to dear to our company and one we've been proud to sponsor, Greater St. Louis Honor Flight. Greater St. Louis Honor Flight flies World War II, Korea, and Vietnam War veterans to Washington, D.C. for free to see their memorials. Greater St. Louis Honor Flight is looking for you. If you know of a veteran, please sign them up for their honor flight, or if you'd like to lend your support, visit gslhonorflight.org. And for all things heating and cooling, visit aircomfortservice.com. That's aircomfortservice.com.
Summer is here. Time to enjoy baseball, barbecues, and the shade of your trees. When it comes to tree care, call the certified arborist at Gamma Tree Experts. Hi, I'm Tim Gamma. Protect your valuable trees from storm damage or devastating insects such as the emerald ash borer. Knowledge and quality are hallmarks of our reputation. For pruning, spraying, fertilization, or removals, call Gamma Tree Experts today at 314-725-6159 or visit us at gammatree.com. Your trees deserve the best care.
The legendary RK Gun Shows are this weekend at the St. Charles Convention Center. Bring your family, rain or shine. Saturday 9 to 5, Sunday 9 to 3. We have everything for the lovers of the right to bear arms. RK Gun Shows, proud supporters of the Second Amendment.
Charlie Brennan sees clearly thanks to Dr. Birdie and Malhotra. You can too. Go to youridoc.com today or call 314-966-5000.
We're all on this planet together, so join Odyssey and find your one thing. Summer items like garden hoses, pool toys, and lawn chairs are not recyclable and best donated to charity. Join Odyssey, and together each of us doing one thing makes a greener tomorrow. What's your one thing?
The show, sponsored by Straight Realty, your St. Louis area experts. Why pay more than 4? 314-441-4444. Back to the show.
Yeah, the show!
With Amy, Chris, and Kevin on KMOX.
All right, one last thing we want to get to here, and we didn't have time earlier, so I want to do this now because I thought this was really cool. You know, as the Cardinals are making this big push to win the division, get into the playoffs here, we're starting September. Today's September 1st. In addition to having all of that intrigue, of course, you've got the going away tour for Albert and Yachty. And in the last stop in every one of the cities so far, they're doing a little something. There have been donations to their charitable foundations. The Reds gave them, I guess, a couple of bats that were engraved with some career achievements and things along those lines. But I thought this was really cool. As a part of the Reds honoring those guys yesterday, they got Joey Votto involved.
We are turning a page and definitely some chapters tonight. This is the final game for Albert Pujols and Yadier Molina as opponents. So many years that guy was flat out the best hitter in the game. They couldn't get him out here. Ceremony just happened on the field. Joey Votto presented Albert Pujols with a gift. Adam Wainwright was representing Yadier Molina, who is right now in the bullpen warming up. He's in the game tonight. Video tribute from Votto on the big board, and Pujols and Votto very much contemporaries. And you look at the numbers, yeah, it's time to fly south. But Pujols, 22 seasons, 3-time MVP, 11-time All-Star.
Part of the Reds broadcast yesterday, and you heard him describe it. Joey Votto did a very cool tribute to the two of them. And it was funny that it set off the Reds fans. They're like, oh, great to honor Albert. He was great, but we hate Yachty, boo. And of course you do. All 6 of them at the stadium. Did you see that crowd?
Oh, I mean, what? That's exactly what they should do, to be honest.
Oh, no, I agree with you.
The people after what the president said, I can't think of his name now, but the owner, CEO Castellini, that's it, said about what are they going to do? Go somewhere else? before the season started and basically being criticized for not trying, for the team not trying to win, they deserve to have nobody in that ballpark.
Yeah.
That is the best way, and Cardinals fans are extremely fortunate that they haven't had to deal with a team like that in decades, that there's always at least there is room for criticism at times, but they have done a remarkable job of staying competitive for so long that it hasn't had to be this way. If your ownership ever does something like that, the best way you can let them know is to not show up.
Yes.
Like, hey, you're not
100%.
going to try? We're not coming.
Yeah.
How about that?
And it's too bad, too, because this is also kind of how Joey Votto is going to end up going out, right? Like, the Reds are not really close. It's going to be a while. And he's a guy that is one of the class guys in the sport. He's funny. He does TikToks things now. Like, he's doing all kinds of things where he interacts with fans. And he seems so serious, but then you see him in these interviews, or like you hear him last night paying tribute to guys that were his opponents for so long. I thought that was really cool the way they're doing it. And every team's done it in a little bit of a different way. And I'm glad that the two of them are getting able to do this at the same time.
Yeah.
And I can't stop thinking about it. I know I'm never going to ask the question. Nobody should, because Waino doesn't want you to. But I'm still wondering about what he's going to do. Because he's going so well. Like, there's no performance-based reason for him not to keep playing.
No, I mean,
but that doesn't mean he doesn't have other things like family that he wants to spend time with or whatever.
You could do the thing that a lot of guys do and just play until it runs out.
Yeah.
I don't know what's in his heart, though. He might get to the point where he's like, look, let's say they win a World Series this year. Maybe he says, I can't do anything else. I can't top this again. All right, I'm done.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what's in his heart, and he probably doesn't even know right now what he wants to do. And I would not be surprised if it's January before he decides.
Trying to see how the body feels,
Yeah.
what the family is like, what ends up happening with the season and all that. Great stuff, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. We appreciate you. Dave Glover's show is next on KMOX.
KMOX, KECK HD2, K254CR St. Louis.
The home of the Cardinals, KMOX. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
Hey, it's Debbie Monterey with a question facing homeowners. Would you sell your current home if you found your dream home? Well, of course you would.